Shouts out to everybody locked in. Big up all of you. We appreciate you. You're wonderful. Shouts out to Such a Tej, who alerted us to the instances. Shouts out to Finn, who just sent £2 and didn't even say anything. Just sent £2.
Thank you, Finn.
And if
Thank
that's
you,
not
Finn.
nice, I don't know what is, frankly.
Sweet guy.
Danica, how are you doing?
I am wonderful. I'm so happy to be here. As always, it is a pleasure, Akira.
Oh yeah, of course. We've spoken to each other before, haven't we? This is true. And you have been on the show before in various instances.
In various instances over the years.
Yeah, you came on here when you first shaved your head. The first time you shaved
did.
your head, you blessed us. In that
I
manner.
did. I did. I
That
did.
was good. But you are here today in all of your Bene Gesserit finery to discuss and enjoy Dunewave Odyssey.
What a sweet baby. One of the best projects.
Yes, Dunewave Odyssey.
This. Also
beautiful
this.
thing. Looking at the cassette.
Also this.
Have you listened to the cassette on a cassette player?
I just bought a cassette player, but
Really?
I need to test it. Yeah, I went to the thrift store and I was like, I need to get a cassette player. So I got a little jam box, but I still need to test it out.
You see, you went to the thrift store and got a little. I got I got like a ridiculous industrial, super professional, rack-mounted CD and cassette player by Tascam.
Hell yeah.
Or something
Hell yeah.
that's like super powerful. But this is cool now because now I can sample all the old cassettes that me and my son keep finding around the neighborhood.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But yes, it is a beautiful thing, the cassette. You haven't opened it, have you?
Not this one. I mean, I have a few other ones, but
Oh, you
this
do
one's...
have other ones. Look, it's glittery.
It's so beautiful.
It's spice infused. It's got spice
It
in
is.
it, which was
It's infused.
important because it was a very, very great record. Yeah, and it's important that a great record gets a great presentation.
Absolutely.
We're going to get into that shortly. Before we do, though, Danica, how have you been? Last time we spoke to you, you were about to go to Japan or something.
Yes. I am doing really well. We did our Kickstarter for Akira the documentary it ended on Halloween. And then I went over to Japan to make some connections and just, pop around, see what was going on. And then now I'm back and I'm just like working on getting all the merch together for all the Kickstarter backers who have physical rewards. And I just met with their director of photography the other day, and I've got a lawyer working to make an investor agreement with an investor. So I'm getting some more funding secured. And then hopefully we'll be ready to, hit the ground running and start shooting this spring. So yeah, everything is kind of revolving around that. And then, but also every Saturday I'm on Twitch and I'm watching movies with people. So if you want to watch a bunch of bangers with me, then you can come hang out with me on twitch.tv/DanicaXIX on Saturdays.
How do you make connections in Japan when you're an American lady and you don't communicate in Japanese at the level that you communicate in American?
It's tough. I didn't make as many connections as I was hoping to, but I did make a few.
It's the quality of the connections that counts as opposed to the quantity, surely.
Yes. And it's also being so difficult to, find interviews in Japan and like finding people out there. Like I've kind of reshifted the focus of the documentary where I keep meeting all these people in California, like here in LA, who worked at Streamline Entertainment, which are the people who brought Akira to America. And they definitely want to be interviewed and they're here and they're ready to go. And I'm like, well, shit, like let's kind of reframe it and talk more about the story of bringing Akira over to America. However, I still would love to get Japanese artists if possible. And I still have more time to figure that out as we go along.
Of course. How exciting.
Yeah.
When are you going back?
I'm not sure yet. Maybe in the spring or summer. We'll see.
Yeah, we got to go to. Aside from for me having always wanted to forever, my son is now obsessed with Japan and is talking about how he wants to go live there and this, that, and the other.
It does not disappoint. Like it lives up to the hype 100%.
Well,
like I wanted to go there
really
since I was
keen?
a small child. And I was like, people were like, what if you go there and it's like not as cool as you thought it was going to be? Then what? And I was just like, shut up, hater. And then I went out there and I was like, wow, this is like just as cool, if not cooler than my expectations, and it blew me away, and I love it, and I want to go back and keep going back. And I love the language, the culture. Being in Tokyo is phenomenal. It's just the biggest city in the world, and it's efficient, and it runs well, and it's like, coming from LA, it's such a change.
I know,
such a change.
Yeah, they told us you can't do that. They said that wasn't possible.
It is possible, and it's happening right now.
Oh my goodness.
Right now. And it's so nice. It's like, these trains, they run on time. No one's smoking meth in them. Like, it's
really?
Just so, yeah, it's so nice.
You step out of a door and there isn't a person to your left jacking off and another one urinating on the right, like a magnificent sort of like...
No.
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 I mean, there might... jacking off next to a doorway.
I didn't see anyone jacking off. Now, there are people who piss when they get really drunk at night. There are pissers when they get really drunk. Yeah, but...
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad these people are human, after all.
Yeah, they're not perfect. No one is.
No,
but they do have a lot of efficiency, which I enjoy.
I like efficiency. I'm very into efficiency. I'm spend a lot of my time sort of increasing efficiency these days. That's where I'm primarily very occupied with increasing efficiency on a daily basis.
I'm so excited for your new studio and everything that you're doing.
Yeah, I have a studio. Because people don't know, I've been working out of Airbnbs for the past couple of years because I got locked out of the USA and lost my studio and everything there, and still managed to do amazing things like Dunewave ODYSSEY.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have a purpose-built, beautiful studio, and we're streaming and we're making lots of amazing music. Yes, it's very exciting. Shouts out to everyone locked in. DM Book says Dunewave ODYSSEY is my #1 favorite ATD album, beating out the user interface to reality and basket case theory. Shouts out to you. Dawn says you really did such a great service for the people with this music. It's nice, isn't it?
My pleasure.
Cosmic Kangaroo says, hey Danica, you're the best. Although you would have said it in an Australian accent, which I'm not going to attempt at this moment. It's nice, isn't it? Scoops82 says, nice watch. I say that in the men's bathrooms too. Ha. Wow. Amazing. Douglas Stuth says, so we can briefly say whatever horrible thing. I think that was related to earlier. Dirk from Texas says, she sounds amazing. It's nice, isn't it? Shout out to everyone locked in. Let's listen to some Dunewave. We're going to listen to the album sequentially. We never did it when it came out. Everyone was running around all over the place doing things. Danica was in Japan. I wasn't able to do live streams. It was hard enough to just put an album out, but we did, and it was great.
We did it, and it was great.
And now it will live immortally forever and ever and ever. And this is the first track, fittingly called Bene, Gesserit, Benediction. This, to me, made complete sense to be the first track when we had all the songs kind of laid out as ideas. They were all potentiality of themes. Mm-hmm. We can talk a bit about how we did that as we go along. But this, to me, seemed the correct beginning. And sonically, it appeared to me, in my mind, the shape of what it should be to begin this thing. And this is it.
I stand in the sacred human presence. As I do now, so should you stand someday. I pray to your presence that this be so. Let the future remain uncertain, for that is the canvas to receive our desires. Thus, the human condition faces its perpetual tabula rasa. We possess no more than this moment, where we dedicate ourselves continuously to the sacred presence. We share and create. We possess no more than this moment. We possess no more than this moment. We share and create. We possess no more than this moment. We possess no more than this moment. We share and create. continuously to the sacred presence. We share and create. We possess no more than this moment, where we dedicate ourselves continuously to the sacred presence. We share and create. We possess no more than this moment. We possess no more than this moment. We share and create. We possess no more than this moment. We possess no more than this moment. We share and create.
Bene, Gesserit, Benediction. This is track 1 on Dunewave, Odyssey. Hey look, we both got shiny drinking things. Muy importante! Yeah, that's a banger intro, well done. Congratulations on that banger intro to the album.
Yeah, well, it's such a perfect, like you were saying, it's just a perfect way to introduce the whole album. And it came from, I believe, the Children of Dune, where Jessica is talking to Farad'n, and she's teaching him, and she's like slowly inducting him into the Bene Gesserit ways. And she says this to him when she finally gets him, and it was like so well done.
Yeah,
thank you, Alec.
That was perfect. Look at you monitoring the super chats much better than me. Smash that like button, says Alec Moran, which is correct. That is correct. Yeah, you'll need to be beating the shit out of the like button. You need to be abusing the like button. You need to be mistreating, disrespecting the like button. Like, what's in the box? Pain for the like button. All right? Pain for the like button. All right? Serious. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But anyway, yes. Before we did this record, we did an EP.
Yes.
And the EP had a sound. It was this kind of vapor, trappy, sort of sci-fi, dystopian sound.
Yeah, it goes pretty hard.
And it was pretty hard. And I wanted to keep that. But there was an aspect of the sound that I wanted to kind of expand upon and develop, which was, I wouldn't say missing from that, because that was perfect for what it was. But for the full-length album, I wanted to bring in a more organic and timeless quality to that. So that it was the thing, because this is the thing about the Dune universe, it doesn't necessarily feel like the future, it feels like it could also be the past. Yeah. If that makes sense. Because, well,
you got a lot of feudalism going on. Yeah,
exactly. So I wanted the music to have a similarly timeless quality that was both forward reaching and immortal in that manner. Yeah. And kicking off the first song, I wanted to bring in all those things all at once, plus the urgency and the energy and everything. And I think it worked out. In fact, I know it worked out. It does that. Chad Comstock says, nuke the like button until it is vaporizer. Exactly. Bad Buddha says, ride the like button down a sand dune like a surfboard. I thought you were going to say ride it like a sandworm or something. Scribe says, beat the like button about the head and shoulders. Indeed. Vengeance on the like says, Jesse, you see how people get into the spirit? It's very nice. Yeah. You know, it's very lovely seeing everybody come together with a united, a shared goal of disrespecting that little bit of software there. That's track 2. We spent a lot of time sequencing this as well, as I recall.
Yeah.
Aside from making it, there was a lot of thought that went into the order of which things went and how things set together. Why is The Sleeper Must Awaken track 2? Obviously.
I felt like, from my memory, I just know that a lot of people will recognize this from Dune, and so I wanted to tap in. And this also comes from the first Dune book. So I just felt like it would be good to start off with something that people could instantly recognize, because a lot of the other songs have things from across all 6 books. And so people who haven't read more than the first book may not recognize some of the other stuff that's in it. So I really wanted to like kind of have a hook and bring in those, readers who are familiar with the first one, or just familiar with the movie. Even if you're just familiar with the movie, you'll know this line.
Yes, and yeah, it's perfect, really. 'Cause it is the opening line, right?
It's not the opening line of the book, but it's definitely a big theme in there, and it's also good for the album as well too, because it's like, oh, so you've had the Bene Gesserit benediction. Now, as a sleeper, you must awaken and expand your consciousness with this album.
Yeah, I was thinking of Caladan. When does Caladan come in?
I think it's the next one.
Is it? Anyway,
it's like in the yeah, maybe the next one.
Well, we'll find out. But either way, this is track 2. This is Sleeper Must Awaken.
We came from Caladan, a paradise world for our form of life. There existed no need on Caladan to build a physical paradise or a paradise of the mind. We could see the actuality all around us, and the price we paid was the price men have always paid for achieving a paradise in this life. We went soft, we lost our edge. There should be a science of discontent. There should be a science of discontent. There should be a science. People need hard times and oppression to develop psychic muscles. A sleeper must awaken. The sleeper must awaken. The sleeper must awaken. The sleeper must awaken. I'll miss the sea, but a person needs new experiences. They jar something deep inside us, allowing them to grow. Without change, something sleeps inside us and seldom awakens. The sleeper must awaken. Something sleeps inside us and seldom awakens. The sleeper must awaken. There should be a science of discontent. There should be a science of discontent. There should be a science. People need hard times and oppression to develop psychic muscles. The sleeper must awaken. The sleeper must awaken. The sleeper must awaken. The sleeper must awaken. Created a ruckus to train the faithful.
The sleeper must awaken.
Must awaken.
Did you hear about sleepers prior to Dune? People talking about the sleepers.
The sleeper.
I always say prior to Dune. It's not like you were around prior to Dune. But I'm trying to because the idea of the sleepers you hear in various things, and I've heard that across various sort of songs, bits of media and stuff. But I'm never quite sure if it's directly referencing Dune or if it's just something that existed prior in various other places.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just a perfect metaphor. I'm sure it's been around for a long time. It's just right there.
Beautiful. So, Sway says, "Love you, Danica." Sway, is it your birthday?
Thank you. Love you too, Sway.
I think it's his birthday. I think this is either his birthday. I think it is his birthday. Happy birthday! Chad says, "This too are cooking." Indeed. Where did all the cookery stuff come from? And where did Danica go? Oh, gosh. Hey, Jason. Oh, sorry. I'm going to have to work out how to do this. Zoom just shut us off, so I need to send a new meeting link to Danica and then upgrade Zoom because it's not letting us talk or something. And that's fine. Copy invite link. All right, I'm sending Danica a new link. Yeah. Boom. All right, we're going to sort that out, and I'm going to play the next track, which is Many Degrees of Sight. And it's a banger. They're all bangers. Here's the thing. See if you can spot a tune on this album that isn't an immortal classic masterpiece. I double dare you. Play the vocal version.
There are many degrees of sight and many degrees of blindness. Many degrees of sight and many degrees of blindness. What senses do we lack that we cannot see? Another world all around us. Muad'Dib could indeed see the future, but you must understand the limits of this power. Think of sight. You have eyes, but you cannot see without light. If you are on the floor of a valley, you cannot see beyond the valley. Just so, Muad'Dib could not always choose to look across the mysterious terrain. There are many degrees of sight and many degrees of blindness. Many degrees of sight and many degrees of blindness. What senses do we lack that we cannot see? Another world all around us. Muad'Dib could indeed see the future, but you must understand the limits of this power. He tells us that a single obscure decision of prophecy, perhaps the choice of one word over another, could change the entire aspect of the future. He tells us the vision of time is broad, but when you pass through it, time becomes a narrow door. There are many degrees of sight and many degrees of blindness. Many degrees of sight and many degrees of blindness. What senses do we lack that we cannot see? Another world all around us. To choose a clear, safe course. Warning, that path leads ever down into stagnation.
But Roger says Zoom is teaching us a new way of blindness. Ain't it just? Good flipping gosh. 40 minutes on your Chinese spyware interface for talking to people. Is that new? Has it been so long since I last spoke on a Zoom? I do not know. Either way, I've nearly finished sorting out the return of Danica, which is going to be amazing. In the meanwhile, track 4. Make some noise, you bad motherfuckers. Outcast says there are many degrees of Zoom.
When you think to take determination of your fate into your own hands, that is the moment you can be crushed. Be cautious. Allow for surprises. When we create, there are always other forces at work. At work. At work. At work. A process cannot be understood by stopping it. Understanding must move with the flow of the process, must join with it and flow with it, must join with it and flow with it. That which submits rules. The willow submits to the wind and prospers until one day it is many willows, a wall against the wind. This is the willow's purpose. A wise man molds himself. The fool lives only to die. The wise man molds himself. The fool lives only to die. Do you wrestle with dreams? Do you contend with shadows? Do you move in a kind of sleep? Time has slipped away. Your life is stolen. You tarried with trifles, victim of your folly. Wait without purpose. In the highest state of tension, do not compete with what is happening. To compete is to prepare for failure. Do not be trapped by the need to achieve anything. This way, you achieve everything. You do not take from this universe. It grants you what it will. A wise man molds himself. The fool lives only to die. The wise man molds himself. The fool lives only to die. You can be crushed. Be cautious. Allow for surprises. When we create, there are always other forces.
Always.
At work. At work. At work. At work. At work. At work.
At work.
How very, 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 very real that is.
It is.
Always
back.
other forces.
It never stops.
Yeah.
Always, 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 always.
Yo, how have you been? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been good. We
Yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah, I think we did. I just paid the Chinese extortionists. Is this a new thing? 40 minutes of a Zoom call or they cut you off? I'd never come across that.
I've never come across that either. This is my first time being booted off after 30, 40 minutes.
It used to be 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It was 24 hours, I swear down. Anyway, I'm glad we worked it out. I'm glad we know. And we got to listen to a couple of songs back to back. Might have even been 3. I'm confused. We were listening to Sleep from Us to Wake. Oh yeah, Many Degrees of Sight, and The Wise Man and The Fool.
Yes,
Both
I was
of which are
following
wonderful
along,
records.
so I was still here in spirit.
Yes. One of my cameras stopped working as well. Can you believe that?
I can.
It's just fucking. I know. Isn't that amazing? I suppose that
Streaming is always a challenge. I feel like the technology is, it's still working itself out.
I mean, it's very magical. It's
Yes.
You know, we're all doing what it used to take the entire CIA and all the other alphabet agencies globally to do. You know, we're all now doing that individually.
Absolutely.
I'm a one-man CIA over here. You know.
You are.
Anyway, yeah, Wise Man and the Fool, Many Degrees of Sight. Both wonderful songs. Tell me about the composition. I don't know if people know this. We've spoke about this maybe on your stream, but the way we made this album, initially, because we'd done that EP, then you came in the studio when we were going to do, I don't know if we were going to do another EP or an album or something. You came over.
Yeah, it was gonna be like based off of Dune Messiah. Like I was just taking stuff from Dune Messiah because the first one, everything was just from the first book.
Is that? But and we started doing something. But then I had the notion that the way that Dune kind of works is like a religious text in one manner, or you know, some ancient biblical sort of tome. Wherein it contains the condensed information of the tribe, so to speak. Joseph Campbell talks about how the purpose of myth is to convey the condensed information of the tribe to the child, right? So you can read Pinocchio and you can understand things that took thousands and thousands and thousands of years for people to work out. And you can get that just from reading Pinocchio, right? And so Dune is very much like that. It is the diamond. It is this insanely condensed repository of wisdom. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we approached it on a kind of subject matter? So take a theme or an idea and then find the bits of Dune that talk about that thing, and that be the song. And then you went off and spent like a year researching or something. It was something like that.
It took a while. I mean, I wasn't researching the whole time, but I had other projects I had to finish.
Oh, you were doing other things.
Yeah, I was had some other stuff going on or something, and I just like wasn't quite ready for it for some reason. But then I did like another Dune club or two, and but then like after doing all like finishing up the Dune club, I was like, oh well, now I've read all 6 Dune books. Like I have a really good idea of like everything that's I mean I'd already read them, but it was good to reread them and refresh myself and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you did put together these themed, sort of clustered little groups of prose that would become songs. And we had a big Word document. It's like, oh, here's talking about law, or here's talking about this or that and the other. And and that's where all these songs kind of came from in that fashion. Where did this one? What about The Wise Man and the Fool in that regard?
Which book did it come from?
Where did that come from?
I'm not sure, actually. I don't remember which book. Maybe somebody in the chat knows where this specific quote came from. That's a good question.
We don't know where this came from. There are always other forces at work. That's
at
the
work.
thing. At work. Amcast says, to be honest, the way you guys chose the information to be transmitted was heavenly.
Well, thank you.
Always other forces at work. Again. It fits in very well. This is another one, actually, which fits in very well with certain aspects of the Meaningwave experience and ethos. The wise man molds himself. The fool lives only to die. There's a very sort of Jocko or Goggins, or kind of any of them, sort of statement. The person who lives with the deliberateness of purpose. That whole Carl Jung thing about like the world will ask you who you are, and if you do not know, it will tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said this before, someone asked, but I would say that this album is actually the greatest representation of the totality of the ideas of the Meaningwave universe. Out of all of them. There's each song kind of represents one aspect of the totality of the mission and the idea.
Yeah. I know. I remember when we were trying to figure out which songs would be singles.
Yes.
And we were like really like, oh, seek discipline, because that's a real big theme within Meaningwave is like you have a lot of songs about discipline. And I was like, oh, your audience would really love this one, like this is I don't think we ended up going with that one as a single, but it's like that one was like definitely went back and forth a lot on which ones we were going to pick to come out first.
Yeah, I want to do a campaign because we're going to do a music video for every track on the album. Eventually there will be a music video for each track. And I think we should do some kind of concerted effort to push Seek Discipline. Because there are 3 discipline-related songs in the Meaningwave top 10. Top 5 maybe even. And it would be good to get another one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it would be good to just like stack up those songs about discipline because people do love them. Actually, Joe Rogan posted one of them in his Instagram story today.
You did?
He did, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it wasn't one with him on it. There is one that's got him on it, which is, of course, is Discipline Gets Things Done, which is a collab with Jocko Willink. I was really hoping this would lead into Seek Discipline, but it won't, because we've just been speaking about Seek Discipline. But it won't actually, because the next track was actually, I do believe, the first single. Was it not?
Yep.
You don't know, do you? You're not looking at the track listing like what I am.
Hold on, let me get my track list up here. I got it on my phone because I downloaded it on my own phone.
What have you downloaded?
It's so cool to have my own fucking thing. It's like, oh, look at me. Oh, it's all on my own phone.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It is a good feeling to populate your own
A
music
past
devices.
which never existed.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another amazing record. By the way, like I said, there's a prize for anyone who can spot a song that isn't an absolute classic masterpiece nuke. If you can spot one, a fabulous prize.
A fabulous prize.
But yeah, this is this. We'll play this and then we'll understand the totality. Ow!
Most believe that a satisfactory future requires a return to an idealized past. A past which never, in fact, existed. Most believe that a satisfactory future requires a return to an idealized past. A past which never, in fact, existed. Only fools prefer the past. Only fools prefer the past. Memory never recaptures reality. Memory reconstructs. All reconstructions change the original, becoming external frames of reference that inevitably fall short.
Yo, I haven't listened to that for a while. That's crazy banger. That's ridiculous. That gave me some of those shivers and shit. Ooh.
Banger. Certified banger. Certified banger.
Ooh.
Very relevant. So many relevant bangers. So many relevant bangers.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that aspect of it when we were putting it together. Is like, oh, that's something that people really need to be aware of right now.
Yeah.
I'd be seeing the Dune quote bot quoting, and I'd be like, yo, we got a song about that.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I can post the music video underneath the comments of the Dune quote bot.
Yeah, definitely follow Dune quote bot on Twitter.
Yeah, Dune quote bot's great. Cool thing about Dune quote bot now is like half of what Dune quote bot quotes, I just hear the melody in my head of the thing. Because now it's bangers.
At Sway La Duenas was asking, tell me why there's a meow.
I was just thinking about that. Well, it's because you recorded your stuff and you sent it over multiple takes and all sorts of shit. People don't realize, like, you sent over multiple takes of everything, and I was therefore able to build the vocal with you having like backing vocals of yourself and stuff of that nature. But also in there, I would occasionally hear little things like a cat. A cat. And what was crazy about that was that the cat sort of cat's in tune. If let me find it. Hang on.
Future requires a return to safety only. Instructions changes.
There we go. There.
Only fools prefer the past. Only fools prefer the past.
But it sounds like the cat's saying only. It's like only fools prefer the past. Oh meow, oh meow.
Change the original. Remember, only fools prefer the past.
See? It's one of those audio tricks. Once you think the cat is saying only, it sounds like the cat is saying only.
Yes.
And the cat was also in tune with the record, which was pretty impressive because the cat had no idea what key the record was going to be in. Neither did you.
Well, she is a witch's cat. She is a she's a special girl. Her name is Beans, and I'm so happy that she made it onto the album. That gives me so much joy that Beans made it onto the Dunewave album. It's
you didn't notice initially, like when I remember when I sent it over, it's like,
it took me a minute.
Did I notice what? Did I notice what? Aside from it being amazing, yes, it's amazing. No, not just that, not just that. There's a cat in the song.
There is a little bean cat in the song.
Mike Can says, I didn't know that was a cat. Of course you didn't, because it's who would imagine that it would be a cat? But it was a cat.
Yeah, she's over in her director's chair right now, watching, managing, making sure I'm doing okay.
Anyway, shouts out to Sway. I think it's Sway's birthday. Scoops82 says Beanswave. Exactly. And this song had a wonderful music video, which took me like a month or something. I spent a long time working this one out, but it came out great. Again, Danica sent over, I was like, yo, how's about, could you find a green screen studio and just perform all the songs in a green screen studio? And then I'll make a music video. And she not only did that, but she also did multiple outfits for each, individual outfits for each song, multiple angles and multiple takes. So I had a lot to work with. It was very cool. And I was able in the music video to create multiple Danicas simultaneously, a chorus of Danicas, which was very cool.
Yeah.
And take background footage from all the various Dune films and work.
And there's another one coming up in March, so you can maybe tap into some of the new Dune backgrounds from the new film or something.
Oh
maybe.
yeah, I'll have Jason harvesting the shit out of those. But I have a lot of stuff to work with for future music videos. There's a lot of Dune media. There's a lot of video games, for example, which are very aesthetically pleasing. Aside from the sci-fi TV series, I think I used that in one of them already. Actually, I used the contemporary Dune movie for the first one. I used the 80s. It was the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One for the second
84.
one. Yeah. And I used part of the sci-fi series for the third. But like I said, there will be visuals for all the tracks ultimately, and because it's very, very necessary that we have visuals that we can post under the Dune bot on Twitter. Yeah. Just for that reason.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first heard this song?
It's so hopeful. I love the positivity. Like, there's so much positivity in this one. Like, as opposed to the first EP, which is a little darker, a little edgier.
A little.
This one definitely like draws upon that. It reminds me of the 80s like Toto soundtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's giving me like some of the Lynch original soundtrack vibes, which I really love.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I just felt like, I mean, one of the things that I love about Frank Herbert is that, you know, he dishes it out to everyone, like conservatives and liberals alike. And he just kind of points out the flaws in each extreme, you know, on each end of the spectrum. And so I was just like, wow, this is one that, you know, I think a lot of people, it'll resonate with them, seeing as how people are always being manipulated with, you know, this past which never existed. You know, it's like there's always been problems, but you have this golden, like, oh, it was so much better in the before times.
And
it's like,
so much better in my day.
Yeah, totally.
Top comment
you know?
of every music video on YouTube.
Yeah,
Amazingly,
absolutely.
The best music ever made just so happened to be made in the time that person was first getting their dick tickled.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. How
right,
crazy.
Right.
What a coincidence.
Right.
Amazing.
I mean, well, I mean, you can comment on this as like, you know, you've worked in many clubs and being a DJ, is that, you know, whatever music was coming out when you were going through puberty and you were like in your teens and in your early 20s, like it just is just burned into your brain. And when you hear that music again, it like activates that youthful energy that you used to have. And you're like, oh, you're just empowered by it. And it's not even necessarily the music itself that's so great. It's just that it happened to hit you at a certain time when you had a hormonal cocktail going on in your biology. And now it's like entwined forever in your brain. And it just activates those serotonin, that oxytocin, serotonin bullshit that happens. It's really fascinating.
No, that's a very good point, because I think about that a lot, and I often say to people it's very important to keep finding new music, because music will tether you to that moment in your life, and if you don't overplay it, you will be able to use it to go back to that point in a deliberate fashion, in a time-traveling fashion. But if you keep just wearing out the same music, you'll just deepen that one specific groove, and you won't allow new ones to be created. So you won't be able to time travel. And simultaneously, you will abuse those initial connections.
Yeah.
And you will distort them, and they will become a kind of mockery of what they initially were. And they can become prisons.
Absolutely.
They can kill people. My uncle was, you know, when he died in his 40s of booze and nostalgia, he was just listening over and over to those records of that period of his life, which for him was David Bowie records.
Yeah.
And, it became this really sad thing, like a kind of a prison, you know.
Yeah. Mike Can, thank you for your donation.
You're very good at this.
It.
You're very good at this.
I do it on Twitter. I do it on Twitter every week.
You do it on Twitter?
Or not Twitter, sorry, Twitch. There's too many Twiz.
Twitter. It's not even Twitter anymore, it's X now.
Ugh, I know. It's just I have a hard time.
I was talking to Joseph Arthur. I was on Joseph Arthur's show on the weekend. I was a bit ill, so my brain wasn't working very well. But he said something about like he'd been spending all day on X. And he's like, yeah, when you've been spending all day on X, you know, like things start getting a bit weird. I was like, yes, they do. Oh, that's what spending all day on X means now. It's now a different thing. Back in the day, spending all day on X meant you'd been like gobbling disco pills.
Yeah.
That's what that meant.
Right. Yeah.
I think Elon knows what he's doing with that whole thing.
I mean, it's a wild animal.
Oh, you mean the thing itself, as opposed to the rebranding of it? Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly, and it's only getting wilder in this year that is coming up. And these Dune lessons are going to be very, very useful in this year ahead, which will be an unprecedented shit show.
Unprecedented shit show, 100%. The Scribe, thank you for your donation.
Hey, what up, Scribe says, forever in love with 80s music, but love the latest house music. Music is medicine. Indeed. That synth bit at the end of that. I accidentally jacked that from Howard Jones, I realized.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty.
He's got a lot of bangers.
I love Howard Jones, and he's got, I think it was new song. Where is it? That thing. Oh, the bit where it goes. It does that in new song.
Yeah.
So anyway, shouts out to Howard Jones. Love Howard Jones.
Oh, yeah, we love
amazing
Howard
individual.
Martyred Artist says adolescence is a major time for imprinting, and that is true, and that's what the Bene Gesserit say, and that's what the Catholic Church says, is get them while they're young and they're yours forever.
Yeah, that's real shit. And you know,
it is.
That's
it really
that's
is.
why they put that creepy shit in those Marvel movies. Did you see that deleted scene from the Marvels?
No, I
Shit's
didn't.
fucked up.
What was it?
Well, Ms. Marvel's like, she's a little kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing with her. She's a little kid and a fangirl, right?
Yeah.
That's her whole vibe. I didn't watch the movie, but I'm aware of what goes on.
No, you don't need to watch it.
I know what happens in these things.
Yes.
I know what it's about. I pay attention. The deleted scene, she goes on angry space lesbian spaceship. The Captain Marvel. She's on her spaceship.
Yes.
She's like, oh, I'm on Captain Marvel spaceship. Oh my god. And then Tessa Thompson, who's apparently Valkyrie. I'd forgotten how that ridiculous that was, given that like I used to read Thor comics, and Valkyrie is not Tessa Thompson in any shape or form. Valkyrie is like heroic and brave and noble and blonde and all this stuff. Valkyrie's just like angry all the time and sarky
and
asshole.
a man now.
And a man. A king.
Yeah.
She rings her up, right? And she goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, are you? Oh, you? She's got a new wife, has she, or something like that?" So first thing happens is this Valkyrie thinks that Captain Marvel is in a relationship with this little child. That's weird.
Ew. What?
And
What?
And then she goes, "Oh no, I'm single actually." And they kind of flirt, and then she says something about a strap on.
What?
Yeah, it's very weird.
Whoa. Well, I'm glad they deleted that. We don't
movie.
need that. I mean, it's a movie for kids. It doesn't really. We don't need that.
We don't
need strap-on things for jokes for kids in movies.
Well,
so.
this is where we are. That is where we are, and it's because, as you were just saying, get them while they're young, by Jove.
Yeah.
But the problem with the thing is, you just have to make something good, otherwise you won't get them because no one will watch it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Track 6, Seek Discipline.
Here we go.
What up, Scoops82 says, Danica, thank you for all your contributions to Meaningwave. They are much appreciated.
My pleasure.
The mind can go either direction under stress, toward positive or toward negative, on or off. Think of it as a spectrum whose extremes are unconsciousness at the negative end and hyperconsciousness at the positive end. The way the mind will lean under stress is strongly influenced by training. Seek freedom and become captive of your desires. Seek discipline and find your liberty. Seek freedom and become captive of your desires. Seek discipline and find your liberty. Find your liberty.
Find your liberty. Find your liberty. Go find your liberty.
To know a thing well, know its limits. Only when pushed beyond its tolerance will its true nature be seen. The basic rule is this: never support weakness, always support strength. The test of a man isn't what you think he'll do, it's what he actually does. It's what he actually does.
It's what he actually does.
Seek freedom and become captive of your desires. Seek discipline and find your liberty. Seek freedom and become captive of your desires. Seek discipline and find your liberty. Find your liberty.
Find your liberty. Find your liberty. Find your liberty.
Ooh, forgot about that.
The hot track.
And it has that lush ass stuff at the end. That was the other aspect, because I wanted a kind of Vangelis.
Yeah.
I wanted an aspect of that in there. And there's a reverb I use all over the album. There's this like big ass reverb that's based upon some of his reverb techniques. And some of those sorts of synths as well appear in there. Sometimes just in layering things. But at the end of that song, it suddenly breaks down and collapses and becomes that kind of a thing. I like that very much. And that, of course, is the basis of Jocko Willink's entire philosophy, is that song right there.
Yes. And it's so funny. Over Christmas, I was making a little friendship bracelet, and you can't really see it, but it says "Seek Discipline." I made a little "Seek Discipline" bracelet for myself.
No shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I wear it around, and I just got my little. It reminds me, where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do my qigong today. Oh, I don't want to like go walk around and do that hike. It's like, no, seek discipline. Get out there, do the thing.
That's good merch. You should sell those.
I know.
I don't know how long it takes you to make. I don't know how long it takes you to make it. But
I love beading.
You what? Oh, beading.
I love beading. I
What
love
the
beading.
That's what you call that, right? You call that beading. All right. Yeah, beading seems like a good time. DM Book says, is there a Dune anime? And that is very annoying to me that there isn't.
I wish. Yeah.
It's stupid that there isn't. It's the perfect, it's basically, I would say it's its ideal form. I'm not personally interested in the movies for various reasons, even though I like the director. I liked that second Blade Runner movie quite a lot. But I'm not interested in the Dune movies. But I think a Dune anime would be cool if the right people were involved.
Oh, so cool. I would love that. I would be very excited for that.
It's kind of how it is in my head. And actually, you can see this t-shirt I'm wearing. Like, there's these illustrations that I found of that were for, what were they from? They were from posters for the 80s movie. And they were done in an anime style. And there's like 2 of these images, and they're perfect.
Yeah, they're so well done. So well done.
Yes. But I don't know if we get that sort of thing. I feel the same way about Game of Thrones as well, by the way. I think that would probably be best.
Oh, yeah.
done
Oh, yeah.
as
Oh,
an
yeah.
anime.
I saw people on X. They were talking about that. They were like, oh, it would be really cool to see a Game of Thrones anime where they leaned into all the ridiculous descriptions that George R.R. Martin puts in, where it's like, oh, the Knight of Flowers literally has a cape made out of like fucking roses in a scene. And it's like, you can't do that IRL. It doesn't quite work. But I mean, in an anime, fuck yeah, you could do that. And it would look killer.
Yeah,
Plus, you could have a long format.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm here for a Game of Thrones anime too. I would love that.
Yeah. Although that motherfucker's never going to finish that book.
He's never gonna finish that book. Oh my god, he's never gonna finish that book.
Yeah.
I love him. He's never gonna finish that book.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I far too easily go off of George R.R. Martin rants on the street to the point that it's become a meme. I ain't doing it.
It's a meme now.
Yeah, shit. Anyway, Seek Discipline, that's a banger. So far, all massive bangers. All of them number one smash hits in some dimension. And we're like halfway through, not even halfway through the record.
We got the old Mentat Generalist. I know a lot of men out there love the Mentat deal, and they're like, the autists are definitely identify with Mentats.
What's a Mentat for the people who don't know what a Mentat is?
In the Dune universe, a Mentat is a human who's been trained as a computer. So they are the human computers, and they are able to analyze vast amounts of data in their brain. They're employed by great houses to be their strategists. And they're just really fucking cool. And Paul Atreides was trained as a Mentat, so he was a Mentat emperor as well as Kwisatz Haderach.
There you go, see? Because you're not allowed computers in the Duneverse.
No.
They have been banned. ChatGPT got banned from the off. So rather than making machines be like computers, they decided to be like people. They decided to make people be more like machines. And I wonder when we'll start doing that. The guy who hacked Uber and Rockstar and everything multiple times from a mobile phone. And
I know, I heard about that.
hacked all the GTA stuff. He's been sentenced to life in hospital, which is kind of mental. But
Wow.
like, I feel like people like that should be. It shouldn't just be that they'll probably the CIA will make them do weird shit for them. But it's
Oh, of
like,
course.
people that like that should hold high positions in society, I feel, and their genius and brilliance should be
Oh,
celebrated. And we
absolutely.
should know them, and we should, you know what I mean? Rather
Yes,
than this weird
no,
thing
that
we
that
have
man
with
is
our weirdos.
is brilliant. Obviously, like that man is operating on another level if he's able to do all that with like almost nothing.
He's a teenager.
He's a magician. Yeah, dude, crazy. Like he needs to be utilized. But of course, the people who are going to utilize him are going to be fucked up. So it's like, I hope he breaks out. I hope he breaks out and like fucks more shit up.
He needs
I'm
to
gonna put
break
that out
out
there.
and like form a club with that kid who just beat Tetris.
Oh
and, like,
yeah,
some
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
geniuses. And they could just
Yeah,
get together and be
totally.
like some kind of like vigilante group.
Right, right. I was just thinking about that the other day on my walk. I was thinking about how, there's just going to be more and more of these type of people who come out of the woodwork, and that
X-Men.
I hope that, these mutants,
Hmm.
and, I hope that they're able to disrupt things in a way that's positive, or at least build new systems that are like not nightmare systems, because it's like, you can do this, and like you can make a system that's better and still profit off of it and not make it a fucking nightmare and be able to feed your family. But like people, you see the people now that we have that are just like, oh my god, like Jeff Bezos and all these fuckers.
Well, that's why
and
they
you're just
put
like,
Ross Ulbricht in jail. You know.
Which who?
He's the guy who built the Silk Road. He didn't actually do anything other than build a website for people to be able to trade without the government being involved in, and they put him under
Yeah.
the jail.
Jeez,
You know what I mean?
jeez.
But you can't put everybody in jail. You can't put
can't
all
put
the
everybody in
artists in jail. And if the artists all kind of get together and create
Right.
a super club, like,
Right?
I think these motherfuckers is in trouble. And I often think this. It's often the case, in nature, the solution to the problem is always next to the problem. Or like you
yes.
have, nettles, stinging nettles. You know what those are?
Yeah.
I'm never sure if that's a British thing. Is a plant that stings and it hurts you. And right next to it grows a plant that they call the dock leaf. And if you scrunch up the dock leaf, put the juice on where you got stung, then the sting
Oh.
goes. It's like
I didn't know that.
It's always like that in this reality.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the solution is always right next to the problem, or the solution is within the problem, or vice versa.
Yeah, I find that the universe is always trying to balance itself.
Balance. It is.
Always, always. And it's so funny too, because I drink nettle tea, and it's supposed to be like just really good for your kidneys and your skin and like all this stuff. So it's like it's something that's like, yes, it's in real life if you touch the leaf, whatever, but if you turn it into this tea, it's actually really good for you. And like that can help you to not get something like a urinary tract infection, which is a stinging thing,
Hey! Of course. Oh my goodness. See, there you go.
like cures like.
What a magical, magical world it is.
Yeah.
And yes, that's why Liver King was eating cow eyeballs, because he injured his eye, so that he started eating cow eyeballs.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
Yeah.
worked for him, but I wish that man good luck. All of these interesting characters that we have. That what's his name?
Which one?
Moonbra, Brian Johnson. That
I don't
guy
know that one.
who's like ingesting his son's blood or something and spending billions of dollars to
Yeah. That vampire guy.
God
yeah,
bless all
totally.
of them. God bless all of
Yeah, we'll see what happens. How's your steak thing going? You're still on the steak life?
them. Yeah. Yeah,
I love your steak experiment.
Yeah, I was still. It's what's it expanded to now. Now it's 4 raw eggs in the morning, steak in the evening. But in the daytime now, I have a large amount of chicken, and I've introduced rice. I experimentally a few months ago, I thought what would happen if I introduced rice, and what happened?
How's it
was
going?
I kind of went up an extra muscle size. I kind of went type thing.
Yeah.
I woke up. I
Yeah.
basically went to bed and I woke up way more hench. Is what happened.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. So
Hell yeah.
How about
I love
you?
it. I'm on the I do a raw egg in the morning. I'm doing
Oh,
like
you're
a
on that
duck egg
now?
right now. Yeah, I've been doing the raw egg in the morning.
But with a duck egg, and you're doing one.
Yeah, because I was doing 2 chicken eggs, but then I was like, oh, well, duck eggs are bigger and they're supposed to have kind of more fat in them, and it's cheaper to buy 6 duck eggs than 12 like chicken eggs that
good
are like
brain.
not gulag eggs. You know, they're not like
Mm-hmm.
these are like chickens and ducks that are being well taken care of, and they live in the sunlight and not in nightmare land. So I'm trying the duck egg right now, and it's really good. It's like a little hard, but they're a little bigger, so it's like you definitely really the swallowing it down is a little trickier than it is with the other eggs.
What's your
but I
technique
love-
on that one?
I mean, you just gotta roll, you know, you just gotta slonk it down, you know. You just gotta slonk it down real fast and just open your throat as wide as you can.
That's
I'm
the
sure
thing,
people in the
because I
chat-
was doing it for like 6 months before I even like, you know, and it was just like potluck type thing. Then I realized if
Yeah.
you just open your mouth really wide,
Yeah, just
and it will open up your throat, you can just chuck it back. It doesn't even hit the sides. Just like bang.
no, it just goes right back there.
Because
It's
occasionally,
great.
I don't know if you had like where it goes down the wrong finger or something. And one time I didn't. It came out my nose.
I haven't done that yet. I have not
It
had
got,
that experience yet.
Something tickled or it went wrong somewhere, and the whole egg came out my and it wasn't one because I was doing 4 at once. So basically, like 4 eggs worth kind of went back round the other direction. And, you know,
Wow.
and that's a great tragedy as well as a disturbing experience. 'Cause,
That is yeah.
you know, the little chicken lives that never got to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're absorbing all their life juice.
Yeah. Well, it's important. I'm doing useful shit with it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And,
Exactly.
presumably, chickens want to get off the planet. If it's true that we are hitched to a dying star and life wants to live, chickens ain't got thumbs,
Right.
but we'll take chickens with us, right? To Arrakis or wherever.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I think it's completely morally correct that we ingest the chicken and the cow, because we're going to be taking the chicken and the cow with us. If chicken and cows wish to live
Absolutely.
and keep on living, then you know,
Absolutely.
that's the deal.
Well, here's something that I think about is, and I understand, like, killing something with a face, like, I understand the sadness of that and why people don't want to participate in it, especially like factory farming, because that is
Oh, well,
really
yeah, fuck, yeah.
nightmarish.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's a total nightmare. But
Correct.
but I love that there's like, just because it doesn't have a face, fuck it. Like it's like a vegetable wants to be cut down.
Exactly.
Like berries want to be picked. Like that, you're killing these living creatures too, and they have some amount of consciousness
We
as
already
well.
know they
And
scream. This was discovered not within the past decade.
yeah, so you can't really
Plants
escape
scream when you cut
suffering.
them.
You can't escape the suffering.
Yeah,
like
just
just
'cause
because
the
it doesn't have a
motherfucker got
face
big
doesn't mean
eyes.
it doesn't have fucking feelings and a consciousness.
These same people tend to think it's okay for insects, for example, or fish. What is it with people who think, oh, fish is okay because
Right. I know. Fuck fish though. Fuck them. Like they don't breathe air. Fuck them. It is really weird. It's a weird distinction. It's like whatever you got to tell yourself, man.
Yeah, exactly. Mentat Generalist.
We
Things
stand a
I know.
generalist, baby.
Don't forget what a mentat is. We went well off piece there, and it's good. It's important to go off piece, but just bear in mind when you're listening to this what a mentat generalist is, and then apply that to the whole thing. Ooh, that's nice. Chord. Oh shit! I just remembered the chord. Yeah, exactly. This is another incredibly profound and important thing to know, and
Yeah.
have rattling around your head.
Thinking you knew something is a sure way to blind yourself.
Thinking you knew something was a sure way to blind yourself.
Not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation
Of
Things I know. Things I know.
It was not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation of
Things I know.
all else. The mentat must be a generalist, not a specialist. It is wise to have decisions of great moment monitored by generalists. Experts and specialists lead you quickly into chaos. They are a source of useless nitpicking, the ferocious quibble over a comma. The mentat generalist, on the other hand, should bring to decision-making a healthy common sense. He must not cut himself off from the broad sweep of what is happening in his universe. He must remain capable of saying, "There's no real mystery about this at the moment. This is what we want now. It may prove wrong later, but we'll correct that when we come to it." Thinking you knew something is a sure way to blind yourself. Thinking you knew something is a sure way to blind yourself. It was not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation of things I know.
Things I know.
understand that anything which we can identify as our universe is merely part of larger phenomena. But the expert looks backward. He looks into the narrow standards of his own specialty. The generalist looks outward. He looks for living principles, knowing full well that such principles change, that they develop. It is to the characteristics of change itself that the Mentat Generalist must look. There can be no permanent catalog of such change, no handbook or manual. You must look at it with as few preconceptions as possible, asking yourself, now what is this thing doing? Thinking you knew something is a sure way to blind yourself. Thinking you knew something is a sure way to blind yourself. It was not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation of things I know.
Things I know.
It was not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation of things I know.
Banger. Another one.
Another one.
Uno mas, motherfuckers.
Just so much wisdom.
So much
Thanks,
wisdom.
Frank Herbert.
So much wisdom. Thinking
Thank
you
you,
knew
Frank
something,
Herbert.
a true way to blind yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Terence McKenna talks about that a bunch, the idea of belief being a prison for the mind.
Yeah.
And how one must be very wary of falling into the trap of belief.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's something your Watts Wave 2 album talks about. The Watts Wave 2 I've been listening to a lot lately. And at the end, he talks about, like, you bought it. Like, even if, like, these are all other people's ideas of, like, the Bible or God or materialism or spiritualism or whatever they are, like, it's an idea. And even though it's somebody else's idea, you're buying it. And you need to know that, you know, it's like, buy it on your own volition.
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Buy the ticket, take the ride. But nobody really fucking knows. but nobody really fucking knows.
No.
You know, it could be material, it could be spiritual, maybe not. But it could. But what it is just this. It is what it is. Like, we're just here and we're going. And that's all we know.
I think it's important to pick a belief system, if you're going to pick a belief system,
that
works and works for you. So I would say if it works, then it's good. I showed my son recently that episode of South Park, the one about the Mormons. The All About the Mormons one. Did you ever see that one?
I'm not sure if I have.
It's really great. And it makes sense that those South Park guys are big Alan Watts fans, actually. And animated a whole sequence of shorts around Alan Watts' stuff. Anyway, in All About the Mormons, I believe it is, a Mormon family comes to South Park. And the kid comes to school and he's really nice. And they try and bully him, but he's just, like, really nice. And Stan ends up going around his house. And they're just a lovely family, and they play board games and have this wonderful time, and they're all really, really nice. And they're Mormons, and they start telling the story of Joseph Smith, which is obviously a ridiculous story. And so Stan, basically over the course of the thing, decides he doesn't want to be friends with the Mormon kid because obviously Mormonism is a ridiculous, stupid idea and a sham, and obviously nonsense and made up. Meanwhile, his house, they all sit around watching telly and ignoring each other and having a miserable time. The message of the show at the end is that, like, well, maybe it's ridiculous, but look how lovely their family is, and look what a lovely life they have. And here's you with whatever your nihilistic belief system is. Is that really doing anything for you?
Right.
You know?
That's a beautiful message.
And Hercules just thought it was pretty funny as well. He's at the age where you can watch certain episodes of South Park.
Yeah.
You know.
Certain episodes.
But like, that's a real thing. It's like, you know, all these things are as operating systems with which to navigate this
the Matrix.
veil. Exactly.
Yeah.
If that's what you think of it, because the Matrix, that in itself is a kind of a belief system and a way of thinking about this thing that makes sense to contemporary humans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just allowing that to be part of the way that you're looking at things shapes how you experience the things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, the thing that trips me out is like how we experience everything through our senses.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, is there anything outside of our senses or not? We don't know. Like, it could be the fucking Matrix for all we know. And so, like, that's a real mind fuck when you think about that.
What song is that?
What?
What senses do we lack?
Oh,
that's another song, and that's a whole
that
real
is
thing.
That is another song.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about it.
Yeah, it's all in here.
Too many bangers. It really is. Like, it's all in here.
Jason Eva, he's very useful. He says all about the Mormons, South Park season 7, episode 12. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's a beautiful episode. Makes an important point, and is very funny at the same time. And you know. The next one is my golden path. Tell me about the thought process behind my golden path.
So, I mean, this one isn't really taking a bunch of different things. It's just taking this quote from God Emperor. And I believe, if I remember correctly, because he just has this really long quote where he just lays it out of just like, this is what my golden path is about. And I'm going to teach humanity a lesson that their fucking bones will remember, and they will forever look for their quiet security and peace with steadfast preparation. I mean, he's just calling out humanity as being such hypocrites, because we're all like, oh, I just want to be peace. I just want my peace. But even as we speak these words, we're sowing these seeds of fucking chaos all the time. We're like little drama queens. Like, we love the drama, but we act like we don't love the drama. And he's just like, quit, come on, be real. Like, you like it. You love the drama. Like, shut up. Like, okay, you say you really like peace, but really, like, look what you're doing. And I think it's so well done. It's like, yeah, you're right. God damn it.
God
damn it, God Emperor,
Matrix thing
you got
again.
me.
They created a perfect society and people couldn't handle it.
And people couldn't handle it. They need the drama. You know, we need our little drama. We love it.
Well, I guess
even the Alan Watts stuff, even where he's talking dream any dream you wanted to, where it's like, eventually, if you can dream any dream you wanted to, you'd start off with perfect dreams, but then you'd get bored, and then you'd want to put in a little wrinkle, and then and then eventually you'd be where you are now. And you
put in limitations, and what's the ultimate limitation is death. And then there's Peterson's thing in that utopia. Human beings don't want utopia. They don't want perfect comfort and all that sort of thing. They want chaos and adventure and potentiality of things to fuck up, which is exactly that, the Wattsian point. So people don't actually want peace. Oh no.
I would like a half and half. You know, can I get like some peace, but some chaos too? You know, a little bit of both. Like, that's kind of where I like to. That's what I want.
You want some peace and some chaos, and that's
some
what you've
peace
got.
and
well, that's
some
what
chaos.
you've got. That's
it's about. I know.
Got.
It is.
You know,
it is.
Depending on where you are. You know, we had a few years of peace.
Yeah.
In a sort of in the global political sphere, but at the same time as that was happening on, we had zero peace in other areas. But the thing you have to realize, and you do, and you know, is that you cannot be looking without for this peace. You have to find it within.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm afraid. And you certainly can't be expecting everybody else to contort and conform to your idea of whatever that might be.
No. I mean, even if people wanted to, they wouldn't be able to do that.
No, thank God, although they do try.
They try, but it's a failure, you know.
Well, this is not a failure. This is a glorious victory. This is my golden path. Welcome, Riley, home.
When I set out to lead humankind along my golden path, I promised them a lesson remember. When I set out to lead humankind along my golden path, I promised them a lesson their bones would remember. My golden path. My golden path. I know a profound pattern which humans deny with their words, even while their actions affirm it. They say they seek security and quiet, the condition they call peace. Even as they speak, they create the seeds of turmoil and violence. If they find their quiet security, they squirm in it. How boring they find it. Look at them now. Look at what they do while I record these words. When I set out to lead humankind along my golden path, I promised them a lesson their bones would remember. When I set out to lead humankind along my golden path, I promised them a lesson their bones would remember. My golden path. My golden path. I give them enduring eons of enforced tranquility, which plods on and on, despite their every effort to escape into chaos. Believe me, the memory of Leto's peace shall abide with them forever. They will seek their quiet security thereafter, only with extreme caution and steadfast preparation. When I set out to lead humankind along my golden path, I promised them a lesson their bones would remember. When I set out to lead humankind along my golden path, I promised them a lesson their bones would remember. My golden path. My golden path. My golden path. My golden path.
My golden path.
Ridiculous. That tune had no right being so amazing. Wow.
That's the
that
magic
one-
of God Emperor, you know?
Yes.
It's the magic of God Emperor. We stand that. And it's also funny, like this comes right in the middle
I
of the
snorted.
album.
Yes, it does.
And that's like the middle book, you know? So that was another thing I had in mind where it's like, oh, this is the transitional song.
Yeah, because
which
on
is
the
also a
exactly
transitional book.
that's the end of side one,
Yes.
or depending on how many vinyl it would be a double vinyl. But if it wasn't a double vinyl, it'd be the end of side one, and on a double vinyl, end of side B, before flipping over to CD. Yes, I think something like that. Yes, it is. That is correct. Good Lord, Mathematica. Yes, and then we have a very, very extreme vibe shift. After that, on that one, I remember when I was writing that music-wise, I don't know why I wrote a call and response guitar part in the chorus immediately, but I immediately did. I had those chords, do that, which is a bit sort of Tom Petty-ish.
Yeah.
Or it's that kind of, it's a bit Beatlesy as well, I suppose. I don't even like the Beatles, but it's that kind of, it's more Traveling Wilburys in a way. It's like this warm thing. But
Well, it's funny. It's such an upbeat tune, and like the words are just like so dark and sharp.
yes,
Like,
which
it's a
was
really
very
good.
it was very
It's a
deliberate.
good.
Because it's that the whole anthemic joy and glory that people feel when getting caught up in such things.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, and it's going to lead really well into the next two songs of The Violence of Our Ancestors, or Reservoir of Hate and The Violence of Our Ancestors. Because that's the thing. It's like people really, we love being angry.
Yeah.
But righteous anger is the one that you want. You know, that's like the justified anger where you're like, oh, it's okay for me to be angry because it's justified and I'm the good guy here. But really, it's just anger and it's not good. No matter, like, it doesn't really help a lot of matters. Like, sometimes it can be helpful, but a lot of times it's not. And I don't know. This definitely, like, that feeling, like, where it's like justified. I can be an asshole, but I'm the good guy. But I can yell at people, and I'm the hero. And you're just like, okay, whatever you gotta tell yourself, dude.
Goody goodies are the thieves of virtue.
Yeah.
After all.
Yeah.
But yeah, damn it, I bet it feels good. These people who wake up, they just can't wait to get out of bed and ruin someone's life with the new power that they got given over the past decade or what have you. And this is nothing new. Nothing new. But
nothing new.
What it leads to is what is going to happen now. I think I'm going to play these two tunes back to back. They kind of work in that manner.
Oh, they're total bangers, like back-to-back bangers. Yeah.
Sonically, they're more reminiscent of that initial EP.
I know, and I really like the darker dark wave stuff a little bit. Like, these are like two of my favorites for sure.
The song is called Reservoir of the Hate.
It was a pattern the sisterhood had long recognized, the inevitable failure of slavery and peonage. You created a reservoir of hate, a reservoir of hate. You created a reservoir of hate, a reservoir of hate, a reservoir of hate. You created a reservoir of hate. Implacable enemies. If you had no hope of exterminating all of these enemies, you dared not try. Temper your efforts by the sure awareness that oppression will make your enemies strong. The oppressed will have their day, and heaven help the oppressor when that day comes. It was a pattern the sisterhood had long recognized, the inevitable failure of slavery and peonage. You created a reservoir of hate, a reservoir of hate. You created a reservoir of hate, a reservoir of hate, a reservoir of hate. You created a reservoir of hate. It was a two-edged blade. The oppressed always learned from and copied the oppressor. When the tables were turned, the stage was set for another round of revenge and violence. Roles reversed and reversed and reversed. Ad nauseum. Buzz on that. Buzz on that. It was a pattern the sisterhood had long recognized, the inevitable failure of slavery and peonage. You created a reservoir of hate, a reservoir of hate. You created a reservoir of hate, a reservoir of hate, a reservoir of hate. You created a reservoir of hate. Atrocity is recognized as such by victim and perpetrator alike, by all who learn about it at whatever remove. Atrocity has no excuses, no mitigating argument. Atrocity never balances or rectifies the past. Atrocity merely arms the future for more atrocity. It is self-perpetuating upon itself, a barbarous form of incest. Whoever commits atrocity also commits those future atrocities thus bred. There is no escape. We pay for the violence of our ancestors. There is no escape. We pay for the violence of our ancestors. There is no escape. We pay for the violence of our ancestors. There is no escape. We pay for the violence of our ancestors. There is no escape. We pay for the violence of our ancestors.
Good lord.
Total bangers, back to back.
Also,
Highly relevant. Highly relevant.
Horrible things.
Highly
horrible and
relevant.
true things. Yeah, and it's like you go, oh, this came out, and then immediately, like, just, as soon as this came out, very, very obvious examples of the factuality of those two records, you know, were presented. But I feel like they're always there.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, like as in, yeah, it's never not a
Absolutely.
case where we're not presented with a billion examples of this being the case.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, back to back. With I can't remember how you presented those. If you presented them initially clustered in that manner, you probably did. What was your thinking when putting together those ideas or collections?
I know. I've been like we were just talking about with like people, like righteous anger and things. You know, like I just see so much of that over the last few years, and it's like I just see people screaming. And it's like, it's awful. Like, I don't want to be around it no matter what they're screaming about, even if it is something that is I agree with. And I think like these two tracks kind of speak to that of a lot of the, like, we tend to become like the worst in those we oppose.
Yeah,
and
that's big.
It's
major
absolutely
key.
true. And it's something I see a lot. Like every time I look around, I'm like, oh no, it's so true.
Yeah.
And then there is no escape. We do pay for the violence of our ancestors. It's real, you know.
The
What are you gonna
reservoir
do?
of hate,
Reservoir of hate.
which is a
I
delightful.
see
way
a lot of
putting
those
it.
reservoirs. I know, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. And I don't know what could be done about that, other than people realizing that that's what they're doing. Because a lot of people do
Right.
not realize that that's what they're doing when they're doing it. People get caught up in people. Nobody thinks they're a baddie. Everyone thinks they're a goodie, right?
Yes. So, and I'm hoping that maybe this song would make someone kind of stop for a minute and just be like, wait a minute. Am I just perpetuating a cycle right now? And I love the ending line of the other song where it's like revenge is for children and the emotionally retarded. And I've gotten in so many arguments with people online about that. Like
Really?
people are so ready for revenge. They love revenge. How dare you say that revenge is not a noble pursuit?
Really?
And it's
What's the pro-revenge argument?
Again, people just like to be angry, and I think that's what it really boils down to. They don't want me to tell them, and it's like, no, you're just using an excuse to be an asshole. because people deserve it and they have it. If they have it coming, then you can't be a doormat and you can't and you need to stand up for yourself. And it's like, well, standing up for yourself is different than revenge.
That's very different to revenge. You're right.
That is very different.
And then particularly like multi-generational revenge.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole other bag of cats.
Have you heard arguments for that? Have you heard pro multi-generational revenge arguments?
I mean, I hear them every day on Twitter.
Well, I mean, in the context of this conversation you've been having with people about this work. Because, of course, you hear it every day.
Right. I haven't heard it.
No one's come to you directly
it was more
said,
personal. It was more personal. People were advocating for personal revenge.
Personal revenge. So what? Somebody,
personal revenge.
Someone cheated on you, it's okay to key their car type revenge.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. But it's just like, okay, well, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. But okay, you can do whatever you want. Make yourself feel better if you need to, but revenge is for children and the emotionally retarded.
Yes.
I'm like, I see it. I see that argument. Not to say that I don't ever feel like I want to take revenge on people, but I don't know. I can't imagine many times that it's been very helpful in breaking any cycles of violence. And it does just perpetuate a cycle of violence, which is like, well, do you just want to have to keep going around and around and around in this circle of hate? Is that what you want? Or do you want to, tap out of the matrix,
It's cliche at this point, but, revenge is, the best revenge is stunting on one's enemies or those who did you wrong by being a bad motherfucker and living a bad motherfucker life and shining like a fucking supernova. That's the harshest thing.
That is the revenge you need to get into. That is the revenge. Living your best life and not giving a fuck about their bullshit. Like, that is how you get true revenge. I agree with that.
What is it? Ninja from The Answered has that tattoo that says, "May my enemies live long so they can see me progress." Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly that. And it's like any effort and time you're putting into concocting some kind of revenge that's anything other than that, it's time you're not doing that. It's time you're taking away from creating the ultimate bad motherfucker version of yourself that just for them to look at it would do everything you wish to do.
And I mean, people discount karma as well. Like, I mean, if someone's done something horrific, like, I believe they'll get their comeuppance. It doesn't have to be coming from you. Like, the universe will, like, just know the universe will fuck them. Like, they will fuck themselves. Like, you don't have to do anything.
And that really does lead very well into the next song. Who will play God? Danica, who will play God?
The problem of leadership is inevitably who will play God?
Hey!
Who will play God? Who will play God? Who will play God? Power bases are very dangerous because they attract people who are truly insane. People who seek power only for the sake of power. Absolute power does not corrupt absolutely. Absolute power attracts the corruptible.
Absolute power does not corrupt absolutely. Absolute power attracts the corruptible.
Small souls who seek power over others first destroy the faith those others might have in themselves. The undeserving maintain power by promoting hysteria. Power predisposes one to vanity and pride, but power deluded those who used it. One tended to believe power could overcome any barrier, including one's own ignorance. Who will play God? 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 Power tends to isolate those who hold too much of it. Eventually, they lose touch with reality and fall. But oh, the perils of leadership in a species so anxious to be told what to do. how little they knew of what they created by their demands. Leaders made mistakes, and those mistakes, amplified by the numbers who followed without questioning, moved inevitably toward great disasters. To use raw power is to make yourself infinitely vulnerable to greater powers. To greater powers. Who will play God? 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 Who will play God?
Anyway, autonomous zone makes noise. Yeah, that one's another one. Another one!
Yeah.
Another one.
Well, the next couple, like, yeah, the next 2 or 3 are just like very much like, oh, we're heading into an election year.
This is a section. That's right. It's like
This
kind
is-
of this
this
one.
is a section for the election year.
A section for reflection before you get into the erection contest. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, yeah, exactly. Shouts out to Riley Holmes, new member, just joined the channel. Disfruta. Channel members get all sorts of benefits, like being able to drop emojis that are nukes. That's very good. You can also download all the mixes. You download the streams that get yeeted because we play too many fire songs that have got copyright. Also, you get to download the records. That's pretty good. Records are great. At a certain level, you get your name in the credits of the albums, and that's very prestigious. A very prestigious thing. That is. I should also point out at this juncture that the Meaning Stream is brought to you by meaningwave.com, and I would love it if meaningwave.com appeared when I said that. Oh, and it did.
Hey,
Oh, it
hey.
did. Meaningwave.com, because happiness is a side effect of meaning. Visit meaningwave.com today and browse the glory of the Meaningwave universe. Maybe you want to look at some lyrics, you know? Maybe there's some lyrics you want to read from one of our fine records. We've just posted the lyrics to the Joseph Campbell album, for example. That's very nice. We have blogs, of course, that will notify you of what's been going on. Oh, look, this was the stream we did yesterday, just yesterday. Oh, look, the power of your subconscious mind. Oh, we did that. That was great. Oh, the Meaningwave Bottom 50. So much cool stuff. Hey, guess what? Also, we have collections. Collections is useful, right? Because they collect things together. For example, the Dunewave collection might be applicable to some of your... In the Dunewave collection, for example, oh my goodness, is that a cassette?
Oh, wow.
Bloody hell. Is that really a cassette? Do I
Oh,
really have to
wow.
reload the page for the picture to come up. Oh my goodness. And it actually looks like that in real life, as we showed you
What
earlier.
a sexy cassette tape.
It's even sexier in real life, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Also
it's really
small.
magical.
What I found when I got the cassette was that I was amazed at how small it was. Because when I was fucking with cassettes, I was small. So they seemed bigger. Honestly, it was really freaking me out because it takes up that much space in my hand, and it used to, you know, my little hand couldn't wrap all the way around it. So I was little, you know? So that was pretty magical. But anyway, we got cassettes, baby. This is the first Meaningwave cassette and CD.
We got CDs.
CD, Digipack, incredible. Has lyric booklet. Read all lyrics whilst
That's
sat.
a fat lyric booklet too.
It's a fat lyric book. It ate up most of the profit. And it's beautiful. Look, we've got t-shirts and all sorts of cool shit. This is the t-shirt I'm wearing right now. You know what I mean? So head on over. And hey, guess what? Because you're cute and we like the look of you, you can get 10% off your order today if you enter code WAVE. Wave.
Wave.
Wave.
Wave.
What wave?
10% off, baby.
10% off, baby. Code WAVE at checkout. Meaningwave.com. Happiness is a side effect of meaning. Oh.
It is. It really is.
Do you like my spiel?
I love it.
You like my spiel?
It's good.
Am I a good salesman? Am I
Absolutely.
improving on my skills as I go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dunewave is golden, says Jason Eva. Jason Eva is, of course, correct. And I don't know why that message just flashed up, because he said that a little while ago. 2076 says, I have a cassette player in my car. Well, that's nice, isn't it? How lovely.
Yeah.
That means your car must be one of those cars that you can't just press a button from afar and have it explode. So congratulations to you.
Yes.
Nobody can make your car like bunny hop into a ravine at will. Congratulations. 2076 says devil advocating or not. However, perhaps it is wrong not to punish the wrongdoer. I would say there's a big difference between revenge and punishment, unless I've missed part of the conversation. I would
That's
say
true.
punishment and revenge are different things. They're not. They're not the same thing at all. And punishment, that's, there's lots of, reasons why one as a society might want to have punishment. Obviously, you know what I mean? If unwavy individuals are running around stealing people's Meaningwave CDs, you should definitely chop their hands off and tar and feather them in the public square. And that's not revenge, that's justice. And I think we've got a song about that coming up as well. Really. But anyway, vengeance is mine, says the Lord, says Big Bad Wolf. And that's a good point as well. That's an excellent point.
It's for the Lord.
That's
it
exactly
is, and he
right.
will see it out.
That's
You don't have
exactly
to
right.
worry about it. You don't have to worry about it.
That's exactly correct.
But I mean, I do feel like sometimes, and it's not all the time, and most of the time it's not it, but there is like a sacred, like someone's really asking for it, and it's like the sacred slap, like they need
Sacred
it.
slap.
Like they need it. It's not all the time, and it's very hard to suss that out. You can't just go around slapping people, but every now and again, you do become an agent of the universe, and it needs to work through you. So,
What is the sacred slap? I've never heard of that.
It's just somebody is just begging for it, and they need it, and you have to deliver it to them. It's a little, it's like when they need somebody to set them to right a little bit, snap them out of their bullshit.
Yeah, that's the sacred slap.
And it doesn't have to be an
That doesn't
an
sound like
actual
vengeance.
physical slap.
But again, that doesn't
But-
sound like vengeance.
right.
That sounds like the righteousness of the Lord. Again,
The
the
right.
sacred slap, like a
But-
righteous
But
thunderbolt.
people get very confused with those things, because they do have a lot of overlap, and you can get confused and think, oh, I'm, this is a sacred slap, and it could be just revenge, and you just want to hit somebody.
I feel that you should sacred slap the like button. that is what I think.
Give that like button a sacred slap.
Sacred
It is.
slap
Let the
the
universe,
shit out
let
of
the
that like
universe
button. Yo.
move through you.
Yeah, exactly. God is working through you right now, and God says, smash the Jesus at the like button. Smack that thing till it regrets every stupid decision it ever made. And speaking of which, speaking of stupid decisions, and speaking...
Let's talk about government.
Yes. Well, the one thing that everybody knows about the government is one should trust no government.
Trust no government.
Trust no! Zero!
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Never.
Don't do it.
Governments, if they endure, always tend increasingly towards aristocratic forms,
Oh god, I forgot what a banger this was.
and history has been known to evade this pattern.
Good lord.
And as the aristocracy develops, government tends
Did you hear that righteous thunderbolt there?
exclusively in the interests of the ruling class.
I gotta rewind that. I gotta back that up. I was not expecting that. For some reason in my head, this tune was
We
like...
gotta replay it. It's too good.
Yo, I forgot about the righteous thunderbolt. The sacred slap. It
It's a
comes from
sacred
the
slap.
sky. That's what that is. Oh, I lost the answer. I got oof. Good lord! Meaningwave Autonomous Zone, make some noise. Flood that chat with wave emojis, thunderbolts, that nuke one. Use the nuke one. Very important.
Governments, if they endure, always tend increasingly towards aristocratic forms.
Yes, they do.
No government in history has been known to evade this pattern. hereditary royalty, oligarchs of financial empires, entrenched bureaucracy, all governments suffer a reoccurring problem. Power attracts pathological personalities.
They do.
It is not that power corrupts, but that it is magnetic to the corruptible.
Buzz!
Such people have a tendency to become drunk on violence, a condition to which they are quickly addicted. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. There exists a limit to the force even the most powerful may apply without destroying themselves. Judging this limit is the true artistry of government. Misuse of power is the fatal sin. The law cannot be a tool of vengeance, never a hostage, nor fortification
What were we just talking about?
it has created.
Good lord.
You cannot threaten any individual and escape the consequences. Good government never depends upon laws, but upon the personal qualities of those who govern.
Trust.
No government. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. The machinery of government is always subordinate to the will of those who administer that machinery. The most important element of government, therefore, is the method of choosing leaders. Grant power over our affairs only to those who are reluctant to hold it. And then only under conditions that increase the reluctance. Trust no government. 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 If there is no enemy, one must be invented. The military force which is denied an external target always turns against its own people.
Good fucking God. That's so righteous and true and chilling, by God. What were we just talking about came up in the song, of course. And I don't know if I even noticed that line before. Sometimes there's a line like, oh, wait. It talked about the vengeance thing there. It talked about the whole thing. And particularly the creating, turning on one's own people type vibes.
Yeah.
Yo, where
Trust
have I
no
seen
government.
that? Where have I seen that lately? Oh, it must have been a movie. Can't have been the television. I had
Couldn't have been the news.
which I don't watch because I'm a civilized individual. I threw
No,
my
you
television
shouldn't.
out the window in 2003. But over Christmas, my son was like, he wanted to watch some news to see what it was, type thing, right? So I put Surfshark on my Shield, which is the little device, the NVIDIA thing that we use to like watch, to use Plex, which has got the family movie library on it. Anyway, and you're then able to watch news. So we're watching news. He's laughing his little head off at news, right? He thinks it's very funny. At one point, like a voice comes on, it's like, now Israel versus Palestine is hotting up after 9. And he's laughing his little head off. He's going, Dad, it's like it's a movie. They talk about it like it's a movie. Ha ha ha. So yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
So
Yes,
we
they
we
do.
watched the news for a couple of hours. He thought it was fucking brilliant. And then we watched 1975 reruns of The Wheel of Fortune for a bit.
Hell
and he
yeah.
thought that was funny as well. He was like, they're so wholesome, Dad. Look about, they just like really happy about like getting a lamp. So,
Yeah.
the lamp was a big deal. But anyway,
Hell
Trust
yeah.
No Government, absolute
Trust
banger.
no government.
Very, very powerful song. Looking forward to doing video for
It's
that.
magnetic to the corruptible, you know.
Oh, so
it
many
is.
bars. So many bars. That whole thing, that's one of my favorites. That it's not that
Yeah.
absolute power corrupts, it's that it's magnetic to the corruptible. Those are the sort
Yeah.
of motherfuckers who want it.
Yeah.
Yo.
And suspect anyone who seeks it. And we should put people in charge of our affairs who are reluctant. And
Yeah.
even then, under conditions that increase that reluctance. It's like,
Yes.
oh, Frank Herbert.
Yeah, like exactly.
Oh,
Like every
you,
year
Daddy.
you do it. I feel like
Yeah.
like every year you're in power, you should like get something chopped off. like a finger or a
right.
testicle or something, right? And it has to be done in public. Like there's no
right.
backseas, no faking it. Like now, right? You've 5 years, like we chop your leg off or some shit.
Right.
At least.
Right. Totally.
You know what I mean?
We gotta come up with some new systems because what we're doing now is not working. So
It ain't working for us. It's working.
and it works
This is
for
one
us.
of those
Yeah,
ones-
it is working for the people who put it there.
If you want to
yeah,
know if a
for
system
sure.
works, if it keeps having the same result, then the system is achieving its aim, right?
Yeah.
You can't keep going,
Right.
oh, it's not working properly. If it keeps doing the same thing, no matter what that thing is, then it's working.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was saying that, every government in history tends more and more to work exclusively in the interests of the ruling class. And it doesn't matter who's in charge. It doesn't matter if it's a capitalist system or a communist system or a fucking whatever the fuck system. This is just what happens. Like, people are greedy and shitty, and then they get up there, these corrupt assholes, and they ruin it for the rest of us. And that's just kind of how it is, unfortunately. Could be a bureaucracy. It could be oligarchy. It could be a feudal system, hereditary monarchy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just going to end up like this every time. Until humanity, I feel like, grows up and matures as, a whole race of beings. But I don't think Frank Herbert, like Gene Roddenberry, really had was really helpful for that.
Of course, I knew you were going to pivot
but Frank
into Star
Herbert was
Trek.
like, but then Frank Herbert's like, no, it's never gonna happen. We're gonna be shitty forever. Like, it doesn't matter how many thousands of years. Like, this is it for humanity, which is really interesting, contrasting ideas and about humanity. One is very hopeful, and one is a little bit more seemingly negative.
Well, Star Trek Next Generation versus Dune.
Oh my gosh, I was getting in fights with people when you were asking for stuff, and you're like, "Oh, what is a non-propaganda?"
I didn't realize because I don't really check my mentions like that. But then I was, the next day or whatever, a while after, Rich Johnson, who's the guy who has that Bleeding Cool website, who's basically been causing problems in the comics industry for like decades. I went to the pub with him one time. He's an interesting fellow, but he's basically been causing big problems in the comics industry for years. Yeah. And he was all up in the mentions of that thing getting... Is
that who I was arguing with?
Yes, you were arguing with Rich Johnson of Bleeding Cool. Formerly of
I didn't know that guy was a person.
Lying in the He used to have that Lying in the Gutters column that was all just gossip about the comics industry. Anyway.
I mean, I'm not saying he's entirely wrong, because you could...
Well, his argument, just for people so that people know, his argument was, I'd said, is there a TV... Can anyone think... My wife wanted to watch a TV show with me, and I kept being like, oh, yeah, but that's propaganda, and blah, 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 and being like this miserable asshole. So I was like, can anyone think of anything that isn't just like raw, awful propaganda written by retards? And he's all like, Star Trek Next Generation was progressive propaganda, and he was like, every suggestion people made in the comments, he was accusing it of being some kind of progressive propaganda or something.
Right, and it was communist, and they didn't have money and blah blah blah. And I was like, I mean, from his perspective, he's not entirely wrong. I guess you could say that, but I mean, it's like, if you watch the show, it's just so fucking wholesome, and it's not like pushing, like, it's not preachy. It's not, I don't feel like it's preachy, and I don't feel like it's pushing any like, oh, communism is the deal. That's not what they're saying. It's just like, humanity has progressed, we're mature, and we've grown out of the need of having money. Like, wow, what a beautiful goal. Like, that would be cool if we didn't have to deal with that, and we could just do our jobs and live our lives.
To do with that. But here's the other thing, is like, it's competent. So that's the difference. I don't really care if it's propaganda. If it's competent and it's got enough that isn't propaganda for it to be useful. And to be it's useful. It tells stories that connect to us and mean something to us, regardless of the intention. If there is any kind of subversive intention, it still has enough of not for it to be useful and valuable. And that's the difference between things like that and the garbage these morons are putting together at the moment. They're incompetent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, even like the new Picard show, I was like watching like the first 2 episodes, and I was like, bro, like,
I just watched Red Letter Media getting upset about that. That was really funny.
I'm sure.
I didn't watch the show itself. I just like watched those guys having their hearts broken because they loved it so much, and that's all they talk about. And they finally get a new Picard show,
and it's
And
like horrific.
The
It's like-
fucking what's that line of that woman? The fucking hubris. And they just
It's so bad. It's so bad, and it's just like the thing that I really loved about the thing that's very special about Star Trek: The Next Generation is that Gene Roddenberry was alive when it was created, and he was very much at the helm of it. And he was like, writers, you can't make infighting between these characters because these are all mature, healthy adults who use communication to deal with their problems. And not to say that they don't have issues with each other every now and then, but you can't make the show or episodes about drama between these characters. Like, you can't do it, which is very difficult for writers to make a show that isn't just drama between characters, because that's most shows.
Yeah.
So, and like he really forced them to like get out of that. And so it's really interesting to see a show where writers aren't allowed just to rely upon infighting in between characters. And I love it. I love that they're just like, oh, well, they have problems. They talk about them and then they go and solve them. And it's like, wow, I wish more people were like that. It was like kind of the only stable adults I had in my life growing up. So I just have a lot of like love for it. I normally don't fight with people on Twitter. I try not to do that. But that guy, I got triggered. I got a little triggered by his response.
Yeah. I don't fight with people on the internet because lots of obvious reasons. Usually they're software. It's not people. And then you're having your emotions harvested.
Dude, what a dystopian nightmare we live in sometimes. It's like, whoa, yeah, you can't interact with that.
Yeah, but God bless Rich Johnson. I can't believe in his dotage he's still out there having arguments with people on the internet all day.
I was mad at myself for arguing back. I was like, I should have just shut the fuck up. Like, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have let myself.
How dare you say anything about Jean-Luc Picard and his glory?
I know, because he is like my space daddy. I love him so much.
Bald space daddy with the flute.
Yeah, he's so cool. And but he's still not a perfect person. That's another thing, is they didn't make them perfect. Like, Picard had his flaws and he had his things too. Like, he didn't love children. Like, he didn't like children. They made him uncomfortable. He didn't like being around them. And it's so funny. Like, and then they would do whole episodes like where it's like, oh no, he's like stuck with these children in this like lift, and like, oh, there's something going on, and he's got to deal with kids and like chaperone them, and it's really fun. I like it. They did so many cool ideas in that show.
I think, anyway, that might be the one. We watched the first season a few years back.
Yeah. And
Hercules loved it very much, and still to this day takes great glee in announcing, "Shut up, Wesley," at an inopportune moment.
Right? He hates kids.
That's a perfect example of that.
He
Shut
hates
up, Wesley.
kids. Get out of here.
Oh
he cannot abide children. Like, he's so funny. But I just wanted to live on that spaceship with those people. I was just like, this is such a nice example of what humans could be like.
Apart from when you like the one with the short blonde hair got like killed by
Tasha Yar, yeah.
By that.
She made such a mistake. She chose to get off the show, and that's why they killed her.
And then
it was like later the show like blew up, and she was like, oh fuck, like, oh, I fucked up.
I didn't get that because people always hated on the first season. I thought it was really good. I really liked it.
It's really cute. It's super fun. Like, I really like it too. But it does get better. But I don't have a problem with the first season.
No, I thought it was great. Shout out to Riker getting his sexy time all over the place.
Oh, dude, he's such a playa, intergalactic.
He's like Brock from Pokemon. He just has this one-track mind.
Yeah,
he's out there cruising
he is
for
slaying
space babes.
Intergalactic pussy like all the time, and then is also banging the hottest chick on the fucking ship too. I mean, they have a weird open relationship that's never quite defined, you know? Like, it's really him and Troy have like a whole thing too. Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to all that, and completely deviating from whatever the hell we were talking about.
I know.
Trust no government, and
Trust
then
no government.
That goes into a song. I almost didn't speak between these songs. It was almost going to play them back to back. For some reason, I wanted to ask you about something. And then we went off on a whole Star Trek deviance. And that's just the glory, you see. That's the glory of it all. Shout out to Big Boobs Ben. There's a guy called Big Boobs Ben in the chat.
Yes.
How about that?
He's one of mine.
I was going to say, that's one of yours. I ain't seen Big Boobs Ben before, but I like the cut of his jib at his big boobs. He says, talk about staying on anyway. Pretty sure the actor for Riker was supposed to be the captain.
Oh.
Was he? Well, before Jean-Luc.
Was he? I'm not sure about that.
Maybe. He was, because he was more like the Shatner type, wasn't he? He was more the Shatner archetype.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Sexy, playful guy.
Cosmic Kangaroo says William Shatner is living in the past. That's a reference to my little spat with William Shatner.
Wait, you had a spat with Shatner?
I made a Shatner song. It's the only Meaningwave song that no one's heard or whatever. I made a song and I was like, how can I get hold of Shatner to see if to get his approval? So I tweeted, does anyone know Shatner? I've made this song, I want to get his approval. Shatner responds within about a minute. It was bizarre. And he's like, if you work in the music industry, you should know to get someone's permission before you do something. No song for you, sir. Or something. He's like, fuck you type thing.
Whoa.
And then a load of people were like, come on, this is Akira the Dawn. He's amazing. You should be on it or something. And then he got really angry about that. And said, he should know if he's a professional that there's a way of doing things in the music industry. And then Naval goes on there and responds to William Shatner and goes, ironic. The guy from Star Trek is living in the past. Or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's the
know.
thing that always I don't understand is like, he is a brand, but he's also a person, but he's very indicative of brands where it's like, I'm helping you. Like, this is good for your brand. This is good for your image. This is good to keep you relevant in people's minds.
I don't think Shannon needs that. At his point in life, he's just, he don't need nobody. He don't need nobody for nothing. And I imagine if he's in a grumpy mood and he's on the internet and he sees something that annoys him, then he will
get off my lawn.
Yeah, fuck
Get off my lawn, kids.
I don't know, but I love that man anyway. I still think his version of Common People is one of the greatest audio experiences a human being could have. You know?
I had he made an album in the early 2000s and I have it on CD.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's
pretty good.
That's the one that's on.
Yeah.
That's the one that's got Ben Folds and him doing Common People by Pulp.
Yes.
And it's got that wonderful song about dying and I might go listen to that later.
I know. I need to I think I still have it in my little CD book. I need to pop it out and listen to it.
I should know.
That's a good question.
It's a great song. But anyway, the song I've done with him is amazing, and my plan is to he'll have forgotten about this by now. And,
it's called Has Been.
That's it, Has Been. Yeah. So I'm going to get the song that I did, and I'm going to get it over to him. I'm going to find his manager or something. Yeah. And I'll pitch it as like a song sort of for him that he's already written type thing. So it's like, the way people write songs for him. So it's like, written a song for you, but you wrote it. And this is just like a demo of it type thing. And then he'll be like, this is amazing. And he'll put it on his album, and it will be the lead single from his last album or something.
Yeah.
And it'll be a wonderful thing. We'll make a music video. And he'll
Fingers
completely
crossed.
forgotten that interaction. And then right at the end, when it's come out, I'll remind him. And he'll go,
you'll bring out the knife.
Not the knife, just the ha ha ha, funny ha ha. And he'll go, ha ha ha. Yes.
I got you.
I had a bad burrito that day.
I caught you.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's really cute. I love it.
Speaking of really cute, that doesn't really segue into this song at all. However, this is a fantastic song and goes so well with the last one. The sequencing of this record really is immaculate. This is Balanced Judgment. Yo!
More law, you say? We need more law. 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 So you make new instruments of non-compassion, and incidentally, new niches of employment for those who feed on the system. Laws are dangerous to everyone, innocent and guilty alike. No matter whether you believe yourself powerful or helpless, they have no human understanding in and of themselves. Laws to suppress tend to strengthen what they would prohibit. This is the fine point on which all the legal professions of history have based their job security. Give me the judgment of balanced minds in preference to laws every time. Give me the judgment of balanced minds in preference to laws every time. More law, you say? We need more law. More law, you say? We need more law. More law, you say? We need more law. More law, you say? We need more law.
Everybody go to Summer, make some noise for yourself. What up, not your problem. Appreciate the support, God bless. Every guitar solo on this record is incredible, bloody hell.
Give someone a stick to beat you with.
Hell yeah.
And that's the perfect line at the end there. Good lord.
Oh, absolutely.
That is the perfect way of putting it. Really, like, this whole section is like a libertarian paradise or something.
Yeah.
At this point of the record, right?
It really is.
It's hilarious.
Oh my god.
So.
That's so funny. That's so real. And I love that you added, we don't need more law, no more, like, that's so good. That's so killer. It really needed that because we didn't, that's not like from the book. That's just something that, you added on to fill it in, which is like what it needed. And I'm so glad that you put that in there.
No more. Oh yeah, those words.
Like when like those words, like, we don't need it, like you're just answering the question of the books. Like, we don't need more laws. And you're just like, yeah, we don't need no more. No more.
Yeah, I forgot I did that. I did do that. That happened in
a
couple places.
I've also like argued with people on Twitter about this one a lot. So.
Oh really?
Like, yeah.
What is the argument?
And the argument is that we need laws because people are animals and they're just going to go crazy, and you have to like. Have
some,
them
but I don't think the song is the statement is saying we don't need any law at all. Mm-hmm. It's saying we don't need more. It's like we don't need to stop adding fucking new ones every 3 seconds, on top of on top of on top of.
And laws tend to, strengthen what they would prohibit. It's so real. It's so real. Like the war on drugs, like what a joke that was. The drugs won. You just made more money for cartels. Like, honestly, it's crazy. It's so real.
Again, that's another example of one of those systems where, it's doing what it's supposed to do. If a thing keeps like not doing what you say it's supposed to do, and it keeps doing a specific thing, and it keeps doing it over and over, then that was obviously the purpose of it.
Right.
Type beats.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a banger. Another banger. Is anyone stepping to the plate for the fabulous prize of spotting a song on this album that is not absolute classic masterpiece?
That's not a banger.
Yeah, come on, hit me. Where is it? Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro.
You know what I mean? Close and continue to track to 3. Oh my goodness gracious. We're near the end of the album now. At this point, we're near the end of our journey, and I do believe the next song. It's gone through a lot of emotions, and then at this point, it suddenly becomes sort of glorious and pop. I suppose.
Yes.
What is the next song, Danica XIX?
The next song is The Mystery of Life.
Yeah, which is, what is the mystery of life?
It is not a problem to solve, but a reality to experience is what it is.
That's what I heard that.
Yeah, it's so real. It's so real. Anytime, actually, when I was getting ready to come on the show today, I was doing an Instagram live, and someone was like, "What is the meaning of life?" And I just threw that at them immediately. It was just like, the mystery of life is not a problem to solve; it's a reality to experience. Boom! And I love this song. I think it's just such a it's so positive. And I've been a little down lately. I think I need to start listening to this song more. It's like this will help get me back like on track.
I was very happy when this one appeared. Yeah, and the way like you basically I can't remember. I should have recorded it, but I'd basically sort of read what you'd send through, and I'd have an idea in my head, and then I would listen to what you'd send, and then it would pretty much appear pretty quickly. Yeah. And initially I was like, wow, this one's really, really pop, isn't it? Is it actually this pop? Oh, yes, it is. It is. Of course it is. And And it reminded me as this kind of Watts again, and it reminded me of that Wattsian
Yes.
feeling and playfulness, and a kind of there's a fizzy. It's like cracking open a can or something. That fizzy like spark of having that realization or that awareness of that perspective. This effervescent delight, an effervescent delight of that realization, and that's
And
what
a
the
lot
song
of
sounding like.
a lot of this one came from Darwi Odrade from the last 2 books in the series, and I love her. She's one of my favorite characters in Dune. She's so fantastic, and she has so much great wisdom to share. She's of the Bene Gesserit, and a lot of the lyrics in this one that are the quote about, you just got to leap into it and play it to the hilt. Like non-players often whine that
NPCs do bitch.
and it's just she's
NPCs
just like,
do be bitching
go
all over the
fuck
place.
yourself. Like, get in there, start playing the game. You'll figure it out as you go. Like, it's fine. And I think these are words to live by. Like it really lays it out.
Anyway, what's on the sun? Make some noise. This is Dawn's favorite. What up, Dawn?
Hey.
The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. Confine yourself to observing, and you always miss the point of your own life. The object can be stated this way. Live the best life you can. Some never participate. Life happens to them. They get by on a little more than dumb persistence, and resist with anger or violence all things that might lift them out of the resentment-filled illusions of security. Abandon certainty. That's life's deepest command. And that's what life's all about. We are a probe into the unknown, into the uncertain. The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. Life is a game whose rules you learn if you leap into it and play it to the hilt. Otherwise, you are caught off balance, continually surprised by the shifting play. Non-players often whine and complain that luck always passes them by. They refuse to see that they can create some of their own luck. Fortune passes everywhere. The joy of living, its beauty, is all bound up in the fact that life can surprise you. There's no secret to balance. You just have to feel the waves. Survival is the ability to swim in strange water. The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. Be prepared to appreciate what you meet. There's no mystery about a human life. It's not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. A reality to be experienced. A reality to be experienced. A reality to be experienced.
Yeah, that's a banger.
A lot of good ones. A lot of
Come
good
at
stuff
me,
in there.
bro. Show me the non-masterpiece by Jove. Hyper
So many-
Barak says this is pretty wild. I'm not even all that enamored with Dune. I just have been really enjoying the music and words. Exactamente. That was something that I more so I think than you, because you were like, oh, you know, you cared about making songs that Dune fans liked.
Yes.
I personally was just concerned with making something that would work across space and time for anybody at all. I don't give a fuck about people who like Dune or not, which is my concern with everything I make. I wish for it to be useful to whoever, regardless of the sort of context within which they found it, type thing. But I think that both of us had those concerns was good and led to it being better than it otherwise would have been. And that's a great example. Banger after banger after banger, says Jason Eva, who's correct. And
he is correct. You are correct, Jason. You are correct.
Douglas said, it was so nice to see Jamis, of all people, saying it in the new Dune movie's first half. I wouldn't know about that, did he?
Oh, I'm trying to
This
remember
must
what
have-
he said. Oh, well, was he the one who said the mystery of life?
Oh,
I think he was the one who did that line. Yeah, I think, it's been a minute since I've seen the Dune movie.
Well, you're going to have to watch it again because there's another one coming out, and you're presumably...
I know.
When is that?
March, I believe. Sometime in
Alright.
March.
Okay, cool.
So it'll be here soon.
Well,
it'll
I
be
need-
here soon.
I need to get some music videos done.
I'm going to wear my hat to go see it.
So what are you going to do?
Fire everything. Thank you so much.
What up, Fire Everything? Says, love your guys'
Thank you.
collab. Thank you so much for making this album. The art especially has been exquisite. Yes.
Oh, you like that?
Yes,
Oh,
the art. Well,
oh.
it's funny because who drew the art? Why weren't you
Oh
focused?
no! Could it be me?
Ah.
It was me. It was me. I did it. I did all the art for the album.
To do all the art for the album.
I did.
So
I did.
nice.
I had so much fun making it.
And it's in this booklet, right? It's a lovely booklet. What's nice about the booklet, aside from it having the art in it, also, I mean, the words in it, also has the art in it. You see. And
Yeah, it was really fun. It was a fun art project. Like, I saw somebody being like, "Oh, are these AI?"
Fuck off.
on Twitter, and I was like, "No, they're not AI.
They
I
don't
did
even-
these
they don't
fucking
They don't
things."
even look AI. That's what's annoyed me about the AI thing, is that people go, oh, that's AI. No, motherfucker.
No,
For
not this
sake.
one.
Spent a long
Not
ass
this
time
one.
on the art and design and everything of this
No,
record.
a human made
Danica
these. A human.
slaved away. I was like,
it was
I
no
was-
easy task. It was a big task.
get me them pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
anyway, glad you like it for everything.
Yeah.
Appreciate the support. By Jove. Liam says you guys should read Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury. Here's the thing. There's a link in the description, in the link tree. There's a send us your ideas thing, and that's the place to send ideas. Because what it does is it correlates them in a wonderful spreadsheet that I then can look at. And
Oh, that's very cool.
yeah, because for years people would be, suggest things, and you don't remember them because they went past in a live stream. I'm not going to stop
Yeah.
the stream and write that down or whatever the fuck. But
Right.
if you send it via that link, then I will check it out. And
It's very cool.
yes. Speaking of very cool, there's the penultimate song on the album. Might be my favorite. I don't know. It made me cry when I was making it. And,
Yeah.
any album I do, you don't know it's truly great until you get to the song that makes you cry when you're making it. That's one of my heuristics.
And you telling me that story, like, I don't know, it makes me love this. I mean, not that I didn't like the song, but like, it makes me emotional now when I listen to it, because I'm like, oh, I can imagine you getting emotional to it, and then I get infected by it, and it's just, it's such a beautiful thing. It's my little empathy kicks in, and I'm like, oh, he's right. This is so good.
It is. It was the thing that happened. And it's one of these ones, I've had this with a bunch of songs, trying to like record the demo, and I kept going and sort of weeping so I couldn't record it properly. And it's the bit where just before I do a singing thing, it's the way you say, there's something in the tone of your voice, the way you say the line, that would then that triggered me to do that melody thing, because it's separate. It's a separate chorus to. Anyway, it's different. But there was just something in the tone of voice that triggered a thing, and it's weird how that will happen when you combine that with music. On its own, it doesn't do it, but you combine it with music, and it does. It's this weird formula for water. And if only they'd known about that in Dune world, that would have solved a lot of their problems.
Well,
what I
thank you
mean?
for the gift of your moisture.
Well,
And
that
thank you,
cucumber
Andrew.
over here.
Andrew, thank you for the gift of your moisture as well.
Says, we're so stoked for this album, it delivered. Love you too. I'm ambivalent. I mean, I quite like some of the earlier work. I think basically after Lemon, it went off the rails. But yeah, anyway, appreciate you. And shouts out to you too. This is right from the beginning. This is the penultimate song.
The truth always carries the ambiguity of the words used to express it. Answers are a perilous grip on the universe. They can appear sensible, yet explain nothing. And thinking you know something is a sure way to blind yourself. All proofs inevitably lead to propositions which have no proof. All things are known because we want to believe in them.
All things are known, 'cause we want to believe in them. All things are known, 'cause we want to believe in them. All things are known, 'cause we want to believe in them. All things are known.
Humans have such a powerful need that their own belief structure be the true belief. If it gives you pleasure or a sense of security, and if it is incorporated into your belief structure, what a powerful dependency that creates. What a powerful dependency that creates. Paradox is a pointer telling you to look beyond it. If paradoxes bother you, that betrays your deep desire for absolutes. Ultimately, all things are known because you want to believe you know.
All things are known, 'cause you want to believe you know. All things are known, 'cause you want to believe you know. All things are known, 'cause you want to believe you know. All things are known.
Be warned. Understand nothing. All comprehension is temporary. Everything you do, everything you sense and say is experiment. No deduction final. Nothing stops until dead, and perhaps not even then, because each life creates endless ripples. Kick the truth and shatter it. Kick the truth and shatter it. If you need something to worship, then worship life. All life, every last crawling bit of it. We are all in this beauty together.
All things are known, 'cause we want to believe in them. All things are known, 'cause we want to believe in them. All things are known, 'cause we want to believe in them. All things are known.
Dunewave. Dunewave Odyssey. What a beautiful thing. True Belief. What was the story behind True Belief?
True belief. Well, I mean, it's funny. We're talking about the Watts Wave 2, and it's like this is very much feeds into the Watts Wave 2 ending, where it's just like all things are known because you want to believe in them. Yeah. Like, we don't really know anything. We don't know anything.
Well, it just really, it really fucked me up. I was like, why is this emotion? Why is this making me cry so much? Just like, because it's all the people who just really want to know, really want to believe in things, and the shit that people put themselves through, and the contortions they put themselves through, and they twist themselves up into all these shapes, and go to war with their families and all this stuff, just because they want to believe they know something that they really don't and never could. And it's a great tragedy because they miss out on the best things of life in doing so. And that made me very sad, you know.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. And that would have been the album, except there was one more song.
Except.
And yeah, and I had to bring it back. And I rarely revisit older stuff. When I was sort of younger, it used to be the way that I always wanted to like redo my early stuff, and I didn't like it. And with Meaningwave, I'm very happy with it. Even if I wouldn't do it the same now, because now I'm different and better in many ways, but I'm just different. So you would always do something differently if you did it now, right? But in the instance of this, I felt that there was a version of this song that was more powerful and useful than the initial one. And the initial one was lots of people's favorites, and a lot of people loved that stuff. I felt that one that was more just concerned with the one idea of it, as opposed to going on that whole thing in the original version. We talk about the banishing of the machine.
Yeah, it's more theatrical. I mean, it's like playing out the scene of
exactly that. It reminds me of that War of the Worlds record in that regard, which I love. But I felt a sort of concise version of this, because I felt a lot of people. I was aware of a lot of people, particularly during the whole Tom Hanks period, would be writing to me saying that this song was very helpful to them and it got them through things and so on and so forth. So I figured one that had a little bit of melody underpinning the chorus, so that it would be easier for people to remember and recite, which is the purpose of that. And and a version that was, and also just general took the opportunity to kind of make it more nuclear powered.
Yeah. It's the Litany Against Fear is just such a powerful and useful little litany. It's just so helpful. And I've even heard people too who've told me like, wow, the song from the original EP that we did like really helped them in so many ways. And they would cite these instances in their lives where they used it and it helped get them through the fear. And I was just like, that gives me so much joy knowing that I can take this wisdom that I think is helpful, transmit it, and then other people can find it too and use it. And there was one person too who said that they were dyslexic and so they can't read Dune. It's just not going to happen for them. But then by listening to this song, they were able to get it, and then it helped them in this moment of fear. And I was just like so happy that that I could be a part of that and help that.
Yes, well, it's helped me too.
Yes.
I find it useful in my own existence, as I know you do.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, people write to me a lot about that. And, there are many, the mystery of life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. But I do find it's a reality that is best experienced when you're doing something that is something that you love and that makes your soul sing and soar, while simultaneously being useful.
Yes.
And I don't think Ayn Rand would necessarily agree. And there's lots of people who would disagree, but in my own personal experience, I do find that there is a great wonder and joy in doing things that are useful. And this is a very useful song. And just saying, this is a very useful song really does sort of underscore this. It's also a fucking magnificent anthem / banger / nuke.
Yes. It is a bop.
We're going to listen to it now, and also a bop, yeah. This is Litany Against Fear. All them wave emojis in the chat. It's the last song. It won't last long. Let's go. The instrumental, I was like, this, I don't remember it being this epic at the beginning. That's the instrumental, and the instrumental is very good. However, that was also the instrumental of the first version. You can tell I'm on my A game right now, and it's very nice to be on one's A game all the time. It's what,
all the time.
It's what my viewers have come to expect. Oh, there you go. See, that's so much better. How much better is that? It has that reverb bit at the beginning, which is your voice turned into a synthesizer.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Sampled part of your voice and stretched it out and reversed it and did this reverby thing with it.
Hell yeah.
That's why it feels, because it's real. That's why it feels real, because it is real by Joe.
It's some Danica texture.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it is gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. You've heard of animals chewing off a leg to escape a trap? That's an animal kind of trick. A human would remain in the trap, endure the pain, feigning death that he might kill the trapper and remove a threat to his kind. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? To determine if you're human. Be silent. It burns. Silence. His world emptied of everything except the hand immersed in agony. He thought he could feel skin curling black on that agonized hand, the flesh crisping and dropping away until only charred bones remained. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. What's in the box? What's in the box? Stopped. Enough. Take your hands from the box, young human, and look at it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. He jerked his hand from the box, stared at it astonished. Not a mark. No sign of agony on the flesh. He held up the hand, turned it, flexed the fingers. She sniffed. A human can override any nerve in the body. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it is gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain.
Somebody was asking, did we re-record the vocals? I can't remember. I don't think we did.
No, I just added vocals.
Yeah.
So I kept your original vocal because it was perfect, and just added me vocals to it, and a bit of. No, I didn't. Yeah. Because we had already done a vocoder review on the original version, so I just added backing vocals to it, and redid the guitars and added more stuff.
More sauce.
More sauce. More wave. More righteousness. More glory. More. What was that thing you were talking about earlier? The slap. What was that slap? The
sacred slap.
The sacred slap. More of that
The
sacred
sacred slap.
Yeah, there was more sacred slap. Like that guitar solo at the end was some sacred slap.
Yeah.
You know, and the reverb, reverse thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
Big difference, like grand differencia, little things like that. And the heartbeat, bump, that was emphasized more. I don't know, there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of things, but I think that was a perfect ending to that album.
Oh, absolutely,
you know.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, great record. Proud of you.
Congratulations. We did it.
Boom. Big up everybody. Big up everybody. I feel like this would be awesome to play right after the original, to just hype what is already hyped beyond what anyone thought was possible, says Andrew. I don't fully understand that statement. As in to play the original EP, then play this. Or the original version, then play this version. That would work.
Right after the original.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Shout out to everybody locked in. Sheila says Source Wave, exactly. Andrew says the raunchy guitar solo is awesome too, exactly. Douglas says our test is crisis and observation. Andrew says getting chills yet. Indeed. Lots of people dropping wave emojis. All of that. The truth requires no belief. Terence McKenna, exactly, such and such. Very factual. Big Boobs Ben says thanks for the experience. Thanks for being called Big Boobs Ben and bringing joy to the world via just something as simple as a username.
Yeah.
You are more powerful than you think. People do not realize the power they have. You could call yourself Big Boobs Ben and thus go around the world bringing joy, you know? Or instead of just calling yourself Dave 3076.
Right.
Now, I guess it's difficult for Big Boobs Ben to enter into a conversation where people are talking about dead loved ones or something. So you do create a kind of limitation for yourself with such an endeavor. But we're limited as beings. What is more human than a limitation? So shout out to Big Boobs Ben. And shout out to Bad Buddha 93. Says this has been such a blessed set. Mark Andrew Dearmis says, I love this woman. Who is she? Who is she? Who are you, Danica?
Who is she? Where does she come from? Where does she come from?
Yeah, she used to be called Comic Book Girl 19, which was she was very ahead of her time in that regard. And she used to do very, very high level videos about lore, comic book lore, long before those people who do it now. I was watching one the other day. I had one on earlier because I just read the new Ultimates comic, and then I thought, what do the comic internet guys say? I've forgotten his name. Anyway, there's some people who do it now. There's some pretty good ones, but no one holds a candle or a torch or even a toothbrush to Comic Book Girl 19 when she was doing that. But now Comic Book
Yes.
Girl 19 is Danica.
Yes, Danica XIX. So I kept the 19, but I made it classy. I made it a Roman numeral.
Yeah, my son was
And-
impressed about that.
And yes.
Because he's been learning Roman numerals. He's like,
So yeah, no, take people figure it out and they're like, oh, it's like, yeah, I kept the 19. And I still occasionally put out videos on YouTube, like video essays, but they're more like vlogs now.
well, you're on Twitch now, regularly.
But I'm on Twitch every Saturday,
You're
and we
very
watch
regular.
movies together, and we're watching The Guest this weekend. We watched Ex Machina last weekend, and then I'm making a documentary about Akira right now, and I'm working on that as well. And so I'm in a transitional phase of my career. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of people are quitting YouTube. But I mean, it's been a sinking ship for a while, and not for everybody. For some people, it's a great platform, and I love the platform, and I'm on YouTube every single day. But for me and what I make, it doesn't really work, which is long form, content that's like deep dive situations with high production value, and that's just kind of not what it wants. It wants 5-minute clips and things like that, and I can't say what I need to say in 5 minutes. So instead of doing that, instead of cutting down my material into 5-minute chunks, I'm just going to go crazier and make something longer and make a 90-minute documentary. So I'm going to go the opposite direction, and see how that goes. Because I've made hour-long documentaries before. I have 3 Epic History X-Men documentaries that I'm very proud of. So if you're interested in knowing more about the X-Men, you can check those out. But yeah.
Link in description. You can go click on the name, Danica's name, and it will take you there.
Yes. Yeah, I'm on the Twitter, I'm on the Instagram, I'm on the Twitch, Danica XIX, and then on YouTube, Comic Book Girl 19.
Yeah.
And I've read all 6 Dune books with the internet. I totally forgot to talk about that. I read all 6 Dune books. We did Dune Club, where we would read the book together, and I would lead people across the sands of Arrakis, because it is not an easy book to read. So I help people across and get along safely.
Do you have any more?
I
Whoa.
was trying to grab that bean cat. I was going to get the star of Dunewave, but she ran off before I could grab her.
Yeah, cats don't give a fuck about you.
No.
Really. Do you do any more book club stuff? People keep asking me about book clubs.
I've done some other ones. I've done the Alan Moore's Watchmen. We did that. We did Jodorowsky's The Inkle. We did War Club, where we did the 33 Strategies of War. And I'd like to do more book clubs in the future, but I don't have any plans to right now. I'm just focused on the documentary. So once I get that done, then I would like to maybe do a book club or something. I mean, there's so many different books I'd love to read with people. Ender's Game would be really fun to read with people. I like that one a lot. But there's a lot of people ask me about Dark Tower too. A lot of people want to do the Dark Tower ride. And I'm like, oh, that's a commitment. I think I ever read doing Stephen King's Dark Tower series. Yeah. It's a whole ass thing. It's a whole ass thing. But you don't need me to. That's the thing though. It's you don't need me for that. You can read that. You don't necessarily need someone to help you with it. I try to take on projects that might be a little more difficult for people to access and help them be able to access it a little bit better.
Oh, you want to be useful, don't you?
Yeah. You know. I try to be useful. I try to be useful.
Well, in bringing Dune to the musical realm, you have been very useful. No one else could have done it. And,
yes.
And you did it. And
well, I remember
grateful.
A long time ago, I heard that Grimes had a Dune-inspired album.
Oh, really?
Called Giddy Primes, I believe it's what it's called, which is a brilliant name for an album. And I remember listening to it and being disappointed because I was just this is kind of loosely Dune, but I was I really wanted something more. And so I feel like I've accomplished that. We've accomplished that with Dune. We've made the Dune album that I wanted to hear, that I was disappointed when I listened to Grimes' Dune album. So
you got to be the change you want to see.
You do. You do. You know what I mean? You really do.
And that is the case when the best inventions is that you make what you wish existed.
Yes.
That's what you do. That's how everything great comes into being. Everything truly great. Things don't come into being via committees or because people, whatever.
Yeah.
They come in because people really wish in their hearts that they existed and they make them real.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like, you know, I make things for myself. Like I make things that I want to see. Just like you make things that you want to hear.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. I mean, that's what true artists do. I mean, if you're an artist and you're making something because you think someone else will like it,
good luck
that's
with
not
that,
the way.
bucko.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, dude. For real. Good luck. And that's why all these, you know, big Hollywood things are failing, these movies and stuff, because it is by committee, like you were saying.
No one's making them because they really want them to exist.
No,
outside
they
of some
just
creepy social engineers who want certain
Right.
actions and outcomes to exist. But the things themselves are just a means to an end. And the thing itself is the end.
Yeah.
If it's greatness that we're talking about, and if we're engaging in
Right.
greatness. And what the fuck
Right.
else is there to do? Why get out of bed otherwise?
I'm
If
only
not
here to engage in greatness. That's
only
it.
greatness. By fucking
All
Jove.
day, every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day. Well, that was delightful. Thank you for joining us here to do this. But more importantly, thank you for blessing us with the record itself. And
Well, thank you. Thank you for working with me on this. Thank you for having me. And I feel so blessed. I mean, of all the projects that I've done, and I've done a lot of different things, and Dunewave is like one of my favorite things that I've done. I'm just I never knew I would have a Dune album.
No.
I never thought that would happen, but it just did.
Well, it
just
needed
did.
to happen. It was
I know.
necessary. Sometimes things are necessary. And,
And it cements my role as the internet's resident Dune lady. You know, I am the official Reverend Mother, in my opinion, of Dune on the internet. So
yes. What is the name? You are we need a snappier name for that. The official Reverend Mother, the authority, the whatever it is. You are.
Whatever it is.
It's
Whatever
undeniable.
it is.
No one else has got a fucking album and an EP.
right, and has read
And
all
has read
6 Dune books. Like, go
on
fuck
fucking
yourself.
internet and all that shit.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, ideas of ice
What are
and
your
fire.
credentials?
You
What
wish
did you
ideas
do?
of ice and fire. Your name isn't even Dune.
What the fuck did you do?
Yo,
This is what I did.
exactly.
Here's my resume. It's so funny.
Big up everyone locked in. Thank you all for being here. Whatever Jason says, thank you Danica, thank you Akira, thank you Jason. Hyper Baroque says amazing evening, amazing album, amazing creators and fans.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out.
Gatekeeper of Dune says Douglas.
Yeah.
Gatekeeper of Dune.
I am the girl boss gaslight gatekeep of Dune. That's me.
Yeah,
That's me.
More gatekeeping. More gates must be kept to keep the swine and the unwavy away.
I love that meme though that's like, I do the opposite of gatekeeping. I will force you to like watch my interests and like it.
Yeah, Dune missionaries. And shouts out to everyone locked in. Shouts out to the Meaningwave missionaries. Those of you that go around telling people the good word of Meaningwave. Meaningwave would not exist without all of you that do that. And all of you that support Meaningwave. As mentioned, this broadcast is indeed sponsored by Meaningwave.com. Meaningwave.com because happiness
Get
is
your
a
Meaningwave
side
merch.
effect of Meaningwave, exactly. And in this instance, I would advise you to check out the Dune collection. If you do not own the Dune cassette, you should. They are limited in quality, quantity, not quality. They're unlimited in quality, by Jove, but limited in quantity. Will not last forever. Same with the CDs, by Jove. And you also might want to check out some of this fine apparel. Also, and these wavy ass gums and all of this righteousness. And get yourself 10% off while you're doing it if you enter code WAVE at checkout, by Jove. And,
Code WAVE.
WAVE at checkout. There's also the resources tab for those of you that message me about your concerns that Spotify's 0.004 cents a stream seems disproportionate to the value you get from Meaningwave. You can go and hit resources, hit the support Meaningwave tab, and navigate to PayPals and Patreons and Bitcoins and ETHs and Venmos and Cashaps. God bless the Cashap. And God bless you. God bless you that support Meaningwave. God bless you, Danica XIX. You Reverend Mother of Meaning you. Thank you for being here.
God bless everybody. I love you, Akira. I love everybody out there. Thank you guys so much.
Make some noise for yourself. We'll be back tomorrow. We're doing our book club. What are we doing tomorrow, Danica? Do you know? I don't know.
I don't know.
I gotta look.
I don't know.
I gotta check it out.
You gotta check it out.
I gotta refresh that page back there. Oh, it says what we're doing tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Part 2.
Ooh,
that's our
that
book
sounds
club.
hot.
Our book club. I don't explain what's going on. I just play wavy ass music while it's happening. You see, and it therefore does its thing. So we're doing that tomorrow. We're doing Part 4 on Thursday because obviously we're doing Part 2 then Part 4. That's what you do. And then on Friday, it's our party. We're having a party. You're invited, Danica.
What is the party?
Party. It's a party.
Oh.
A Friday night party. We get down.
Party.
Yes,
a party.
That's right. Oh, and I'm not showing the screen. I thought I was showing the screen. No, this is what I thought we were looking at. You see? This.
Hey.
You see how organized? A good 3 days ahead. 3 days into the future, you can see what's going on.
Killing the game here.
That's right. That's what it's for.
Incredible.
You got to treat the game like the like button. That's what you got to do.
You got to sacred slap it.
Yeah, you got to sacred slap the shit. Sacred slap the shit out of that thing. And yeah. And with that being said, we're going to get out of here. And I think what I will do is, if I can find it, my machine is really spazzing out and only one of my decks is working. What was this song called?
What is this song called? Hold on, I can look it up right now.
I fucking
here it is. Hold on. It is
One Step Beyond Logic.
One Step Beyond Logic.
I'm gonna play One Step Beyond Logic.
One Step Beyond Logic.
While people converse among themselves and shuffle out of the building. And you know.
Yeah, check out the EP if you haven't checked out our first Dunewave album. EP. I mean, Gom Jabbar, Reverend Mother, Litany Against Fear, you know, it's all bangers. One Step Beyond Logic.
Yeah. Actually, well, you can choose then. Do you want to choose a song of the first EP? Do you want to play this one? Or do you want to play
Gom Jabbar. Play Gom Jabbar. That one's like so hard.
Gom Jabbar is
it's
fucking
so
stupid.
hard. It goes so hard. It goes crazy.
Yeah, Gom Jabbar, go loco. All right, baby, go loco. Make some noise, she says. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Hit Danica in the description bit and go follow her. If you're not already, you probably are, because what is wrong with you? You're a righteous individual. But anyway, Danica, good luck with the Akira movie and everything you're doing. And,
thank you.
You know, we're just hyped to see what you do, because you're a bad motherfucker and we appreciate you.
Same.
Put your right hand in the box.
Put your right hand in the box, motherfuckers.
Put it in there.
Put your right hand in the box. I hold in your neck the Gom Jabbar. I hold at your neck the Gom Jabbar. The Gom Jabbar, the high-handed enemy. It's a needle with a drop of poison on its tip. Don't pull away or you'll feel that poison. A geek son must know about poisons. The quick ones and the slow ones and the ones in between. Here's a new one for you. It kills only animals.
Holy shit, that hi-hat pattern is ridiculous.
It kills only animals. It kills only animals. You dare suggest that your son is an animal? Animal? Let us say, I suggest you may be human. Let us say, I suggest you may be human. If you withdraw your hand from the box, you die. This is the only rule. This is the only rule. If you withdraw your hand from the box, you die. This is the only rule. This is the only rule. Keep your hand in the box and live. Keep your hand in the box and live. you see its path. When the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Pain.